Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Things ain't going good for you this morning.
Really? You know what? I disagree because it's always a great day when I get to talk about my quarterbacks, Brady and Dak, who do belong in the same sentence, by the way.
They will come up.
Yes, they will.
You're not going to be happy. You're not happy about this.
Oh, I think you're going
I
to
know
be real
two
unhappy.
quarterbacks aren't happy.
Really?
Two of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go.
Ain't none of my business. I don't get people money.
I know one Hall of Famer who's going to be real unhappy when this show's over. He's across from me right now.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot to get to on today's show. Are the Cowboys mishandling their contract negotiations?
No.
And why is Aaron Donald getting compared to Michael Jordan?
Yeah, Skip.
Okay, we are going to start with TB12. He turned 42 on Saturday, then agreed to a 2-year extension for $70 million. But it turns out the extension can be voided after this season, which would make Brady a free agent. He still sounded pretty calm when he talked about his future yesterday. Take a listen.
It's really the reality for most guys in the NFL. You know, I don't want to think that I'm any different than everyone else. Like, football's a tough business. It's a production business, and you know, I'm ready to go this year, and that's really what matters, and that's where my focus is. It's a unique situation I'm in. You know, I'm 20th year with the same team, and you know, be 42 years old, so pretty much uncharted territory, I think, for everybody. And you know, I'm gonna go out there and do the best I can this year and see what happens.
Well, Shannon, what do those comments from Brady tell you?
Yeah, Shannon, what do they tell you?
I don't know what they tell you, Skip. I could have sworn. Now, somebody sat up here yesterday and saw that Tom Brady had gotten a 2-year, $70 million extension.
Sure.
And I said, now, if I'm not mistaken, I could have swore I said, Skip, that don't mean anything. Because I've never heard of someone getting a $70 million extension and only getting $8 million signing bonus. I said, this is year to year. Oh, no, he go play, you know.
I didn't disagree with the year to year, but he's going to play till he's 45. Yeah. Period. End of story. You've been wrong 3 straight years. You're going to be wrong the 4th straight year. Go ahead.
Before we go any further.
Yep.
We're not debating. Okay, I said, what did I say, Skip? In New England. Now, Coach Belichick has already tried to jettison him.
He did.
And his daddy had to come. He went upstairs, called his dad on the phone, because he don't got dad phone. You know, everybody don't have it.
Yeah.
You know. He called his dad. Coach Belichick tried to get rid of me, daddy. And his dad came down there and put his foot down. And Billy.
Who was right there? Was Daddy or Belichick right?
You know, Mr. Kraft.
Who was right? I think Daddy was really right on that one.
Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft calls him Bill. Skip, this is a 1-year deal, basically. And all he did was get, and rightfully so, Skip, they should have gave him probably $20 million a raise this year. He should be making $40 million. Kind of be like Jordan. His last couple of years, pay him all the money that you saved by having him play under that under market value. But Skip, look, once you get to his age, they cannot afford to have Tom Brady give him, so let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, they gave him a 3-year, $90 million extension and gave him, say, 40, 45, $50 million guaranteed. Have him step off a cliff and he retire, and then all that money then they're in salary cap hell the next couple of years. That's not the way the Patriots operate. Skip, also, I think the biggest thing that what they do in New England is that they play a mental game Monday through Saturday. And when you get on the field on Sunday, it's a relief. You see what they're doing? That's Tom Brady. That's playing on a year-to-year contract. That's not Joe Blow. That's not a guy that's a fringe guy that he may or may not make the roster. Most people consider him the GOAT. 6 Super Bowls, 4 MVPs, I think 3 league MVPs. And he's playing on a year-to-year contract. But it also goes to show you, Skip, when you see these conflated numbers. Oh, he got 5-year extension for $118 million and 42 cents. They mean nothing. Because once you weave away and you start reading the fine print, what is it, Skip? It's basically he got an $8 million raise this year. He's going to make $23 million. The deal voids after the season, and then we'll see you. Okay, Tom, Skip, for me, I don't know how you read that video, but it didn't look like a guy that was really, really happy, did it, Jenny? I'm going to play my best, and we'll see what happens after that. That doesn't seem like a guy that was enthused
Okay.
as he. they're not as interested in Tom Brady playing until he's 45 as Tom is interested in him playing until he's 45.
Interesting. No, I think it's a terrible point, but that's.
I hear
I'm
you.
about to shoot
I
big
hear
holes
you.
in that
Okay,
point.
Let's hear
go
what
ahead.
Skip's
I
got.
get what you're saying. Before I launch, before I unleash on everything you just said, frame this with the fact that your quarterback, Carson Wentz, we're going to discuss him in detail in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Carson Wentz just got $108 million guaranteed
Yep.
over a long stretch of time. He's got long-term security.
He got 5 years, 4 or 5 year extension.
And they are stuck with Carson Wentz. Oh, I
Walk
wince
it to
every
him.
time. Yeah, limp it to him, Wentz. Can he stay healthy? So just frame this with the fact he's got long-term security. Nobody in this league has more guaranteed money on his current deal than Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Correct.
Just for perspective. Back to Tom Brady. He proved to you yesterday he is a one and only. Once again, what Tom Brady said yesterday was so Tom Brady. It summed up everything Tom Brady because he just told you, I don't even want any security. I don't want to work with a safety net like everybody else.
Yes, he does.
I would prefer to do it this way because this way only motivates Tom Brady at age 42. And you know what it smacked of to me? It reminded me so much of my years around Michael Jeffrey Jordan in Chicago. That was the end of his prime run with the Bulls. He was constantly trying to trick himself into new motivations as he won his third championship. Then it led to a fourth, fifth, and sixth. Each year he needed a new motivation.
Okay.
So he often fictionalized feuds with various players who would say, I don't even know what he's talking about. I didn't mean that way.
Right.
And Michael would take it very personally. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it out on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he spent the whole last year with the Bulls trying to take it out on Jerry Krause, who deserved it because he was trying to bring Tim Floyd in from Iowa State to replace Phil Jackson.
He didn't deserve it. Stop
Okay,
it.
so Michael took it so personally. He dedicated all of 1998 to putting little Jerry Krause back in his place. This is classic Jordan-esque Tom Brady saying, I need motivation at age 42. So he said, well, I've got security for this year, and then the ... I think, that's what he said. I think, he said, at least I'm getting some first-team reps out there. He's talking about himself like he's still a sixth-round draft pick trying to make the football team.
And they put him on a contract like he's a
That is
sixth-round draft
correct.
pick
That's
trying
correct.
to make the team.
And did he hold out? Did he go to Cabo? No, he's not going to do that.
Stop it. Stop it, Skip. That's a
and
totally
he
different
even
situation.
said you can't, and it's written in his contract, according to all the reports, you can't franchise tag me next year. So he's basically, there's going to be a moment when he's going to be free. Okay, at age 42, going on 43, he will, at least for like 1 minute, be a free agent till daddy steps in and says, what can we do about next year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here you have Tom Brady with 6 Super Bowl rings telling the world, you know, he says, I'm good because this is the key line. He said, it's really the reality for most guys in the NFL. I don't want anyone to think I'm any different from everyone else.
So you can't be GOAT.
Wow.
GOATs are
Interesting.
different.
Interesting.
Hold on, Skip. You said Tom Brady said
You're missing how he becomes the GOAT and continues to be the GOAT.
Skip.
Motivation.
I'm not, hold on.
Treat me like a sixth-rounder.
Hey, guess what? You keep talking about Michael Jordan, how he tried to constantly find motivation, but his last 2 years, what did they pay him, Skip Bayless?
In Chicago?
Yes.
Not that much.
Skip,
he was still way underpaid.
Skip, he was making 30.
He was the biggest steal in the history of basketball.
Okay, but Skip, he was $10, $15 million ahead of everybody else. So in other words, where you keep telling me that Tom Brady, oh, I'm happy with this. Skip Bayless, you watched Tom Brady his entire career. That did not seem like a man that was happy with what the New England Patriots did. See, the reason why they didn't give him.
I think he's quietly very happy.
Skip, let me ask you a question.
Loves this.
Skip, let's just say since Carson Wentz has been in the league, who's missed more games due to injury? Carson Wentz or Tom Brady?
Well, obviously Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Like way more.
Well,
like
his team,
what's the point?
My point is his team believed in him and gave him the most guaranteed money. Your guy.
Foolishly.
Whoa. Time out. If that was foolish, why would you give a guy that has missed no time since his knee injury in 2008, why would you not give him that kind of money?
Maybe because he didn't ask.
Stop it, Skip. Don't do that.
Okay, I told you yesterday, scenario, just hypothetical. If Tom Brady said right here, right now to Robert Kraft, I'm going to Cabo unless you give me $35 million to play this year. What do you think would happen?
Coach Belichick say bye.
He might say bye, but
bye.
Daddy would say hello.
Coach Belichick. Skip, let that sink in for a second. You say that's the GOAT. You tell me every day. You hit me over the head with a hammer. You open
Do you
my
disagree?
Head, and then you pull GOAT.
Do you disagree?
I'm not talking about that. It's my turn to talk.
Okay.
I'm talking now.
You
tell me every single day, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Well, that's not how they look at him because GOATish don't play on one-year deals. That doesn't happen, Skip Bayless. And you just told me that Carson Wentz, he can't stay healthy, the safety net is gone, and they gave him the $108 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Your guy with 6 Super Bowls and 4 Super Bowl MVPs is on a year-to-year deal. And you tell me he's happy with that? Everybody wants security, even Tom Brady. And the Patriots says, you get none here, bruh.
I think Tom's okay when it comes to money. I could be
No.
wrong. He does okay at home. His wife does pretty well.
Okay, Skip.
He's already done really well.
He's done great.
He's still making $23 million, even though it's tied for 7th in quarterback money.
Let me ask you this. If he was going to play till he's 45, and the Patriots are so convinced the guy hadn't been hurt in over a decade, why not just give him a 4-year extension? Why not just give him $70 million guaranteed if they gave Walker to him 108?
You keep missing the point. He doesn't want that.
Yes,
he wants to work without a net. He needs the motivation. Can you imagine your man LeBron James saying, I don't want anyone to think I'm any different from everyone else? That's all he wants. LeBron wants the whole world to think he's different because he's on the throne.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip.
You played with my throne too much.
Yeah, Skip, let me ask you a question. Do you believe Tom Brady think he's just like everybody else? 100.
Heck no.
I can't then.
Yep.
So you telling me because that's the persona of what he said, he actually believed that?
You have to trick yourself into new motivation. It's why he's still going stronger than ever at 42. It's why you hit the wall at, 35-ish?
35-ish.
Okay? Because you couldn't take the mental beating of the meetings and all the same terminology over and over and over, and it drove you crazy until you said, I can't take this. Obviously, your body started saying no. But his body sometimes says no, and he's saying, no, I got to trick myself into going forward. I got to treat myself like any other 6th rounder out on that. I got to beat out Jared Stidham for the first-string quarterback job of the New England Patriots. That's what he's doing right now.
Skip, I try to trick myself. Sometimes I go to the store and I'll buy a can of sardines. I'll buy Vienna sausages. I still eat off paper plates no matter I'm at home or I'm at Fox, and I eat with plastic utensils. But I can't fool myself. That's Shannon Sharpe that grew up in Glenville, Georgia in 1,000 square feet. He lives in Hornby Hills in 9,000 square foot with an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And I got 15 Louis Vuitton bags. I'm not that guy. Tom Brady can try to trick himself all he wants to.
You're not trying to play at age 42.
Skip, you can
what's happening right before your very eyes. He's doing it to you again.
He's not.
And you missed the bottom line to this whole discussion. I'm really excited for this year. He said it's really all about, the focus is this year. That's all I care about. He says that's all that really matters in the end. Is that not true?
Yeah,
this year.
But what did he say about, I'm going to do my best? He said, I'm going to do my best. That's Tom Brady said, I'm going to do my best. Skip Bayless, you and I both know, like you said, he's made great money, but ain't nobody turning down $70 million guaranteed. If they thought he was going, see, you and Tom Brady are convinced he's going to play the 45. Because if they were so convinced, because Coach, like you said, Mr. Kraft could have easily said, Tommy, you've been great. That franchise is worth $3.5 billion. Well, if you give Tom Brady 10% of that, $350 million, he well worth it. Because the value of that football team is tied to number 12. No doubt about it, Skip Bayless.
Okay, he knows right here, right now, he could wreck the salary cap for the next 3 years because he does not know for a fact he can play at age 43.
Why not? You just said he said it. You said the one guy you don't bet against is Tom Brady. You've been telling me that for 3 years. And now you betting against him.
I'm going to knock on wood again because obviously, as you well know, the game we're talking about is a very dangerous game. He can't control that part. Career threat, I'm knocking on wood again. Any career-threatening or career-ending injury will make you right. But if he stays upright for another year, they're going to the Super Bowl again, and he's going to come back and haunt you again at age 43.
But Skip, if that's the case, why would you bet that he's going to get injured when he's only been injured once in 20 years?
He has always taken outrageous hometown discounts so that they can improve the team around him, and he just helped them with $5.5 million more that he gave back to the salary cap. He doesn't care about anything but rings. Money doesn't matter to him right now. Rings matter.
It doesn't sound like to me. That did not sound like a guy that was extremely happy. He was not upbeat.
Boy, I thought so. I completely disagree with that. I thought he was very excited. And folks, if you want unhappy, can we just go back a year ago to March of a year ago, when he came to do this conference right here in Santa Monica? Remember, and he was at odds with his head coach, who had blown the Super Bowl by not playing Malcolm Butler.
Stop doing that.
He did. Well, that's what he was furious about. Do you remember that? And Jim Gray did a little interview with him at the conference.
Yes.
And one question was, do you feel appreciated by Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft? And Tom said, I plead the fifth. Are you happy, Tom? Asked Jim Gray. I have my moments. What?
In that article.
Now that's unhappy.
Okay, let me ask you a question. In that article that you just read right there, it's probably, 7, 8 paragraphs? Where did he mention happy at?
I am really excited for this year. All that really matters in the end is this
All
year.
that matters in the end. The guy that
all the kids are saying, give me future, give me security, give me long term. He's saying, no, I'll work without a net because all that really matters in the end, you cannot argue against this. No. What matters right now to Tom Brady the most? This season.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
End of story. Then you figure it out again next year.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. If the Patriots had come to Tom Brady and says, Tom, this is what we want to do. We want to extend you for 4 years. We want to give you $100 million.
Well, obviously, they're not going to do that.
Why not?
Well, you can't know.
You
can't know if he'll stay healthy.
You say you don't bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't.
I
can't. I don't know. I'm going to knock on wood again. I don't know if he's going to stay upright. Okay, plus, it's a long, hard season. I don't know. But he has said, if all things go correctly, I'm playing till I'm 45. You have been wrong how many times about him? I think 3 years?
No, Skip. All I'm saying is this. If they come to him and says, Tom, we want to extend you. We want to give you 4 years.
Obviously, you're not going to wreck your salary cap in case he got hurt. Then where would you go? What would you do?
So now, Skip, the whole time, you haven't been mentioning anything about injury. Now, all of a sudden, injury is on your mind. My only point is, Skip Bayless, if they
not on my mind, it's on their mind. That's how you have to play your cards.
Why?
That's how you play the game.
No, Skip.
This is the smartest franchise in the league. They always have been.
Skip, all I'm saying is, if they come to Tom and offer him
all I'm saying is, if he had drawn a line in the sand and said, give me 2 years guaranteed at $35 million, Robert Kraft would say, I don't love it, but I'm going to do it.
Hold on. But why give him 2 years fully guaranteed if you don't know if he's going to stay healthy? Now, you can't keep talking out.
I just said.
So, okay.
He could have said that.
Okay.
And you know what would happen? They'd say, okay, we'll do it.
Okay, so if...
He doesn't want to do that. He is motivating himself. You know it, and I know it. I've got you on this one.
Don't,
this guy, you keep trying to put him in a box like a conventional mold. He should say this. He should do that. Franchise quarterbacks can't be so cliched and lame. They can't act so nerdy.
Actually, I like the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that's supposed to do that. That's what I expect them to do. As the term that used to be presidential. That's what we expect them to do, hug, shake it. But Skip, my point is this. You said, had he drawn a line in the sand and says, I want 2 years fully guaranteed, they would say yes, but they won't voluntarily give him 2 years fully guaranteed. Why?
He doesn't want it.
But
He doesn't want it. He wants to be treated like everyone else. He says football is a tough business. It's a production business. Make me earn it first.
So he had. So hold on, you just said he
He's
went to
setting
the
a
Super Bowl.
whole new rule for how to play this game.
Tom Brady-
No one's ever done this before.
So he hadn't produced
you
yet?
cannot appreciate one thing about the GOAT. Goatish is saying, I'll take way less so we can have a better football team.
Bill Belichick say, we giving you this, and you will take it, or you play under your contract that you got.
The phony GOAT, who plays here in Los Angeles, always says, give me the max. I'm on the throne. I'm a king. I want king emojis. Give me what is he up to? 37.4 million. Yeah. What? 37.4? Wait a second. And you don't have enough help? Whose fault is that? It's your fault. Tom's not saying. Tom says, just give me anybody. Give me Julian Edelman, 7th-round pick. I'll figure it out.
All I'm saying is that you're saying one thing. You're saying that Tom Brady can lay down the gauntlet and says, I won't guarantee.
No, I'm saying he didn't. That's all. Period.
He didn't have a choice in the matter.
Stop. He just went to 2 more Super Bowls.
You making my you're making my point.
No, you're making my point.
He went to 3 straight Super Bowls. He's won 2 of them, and they gave him an $8 million raise and say, play it out.
He could have drawn a line, and he did not. Does he not have all the leverage?
No.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, because he's 42 years of age.
Oh.
He's in uncharted territory. They have the leverage. That's why they put him on a 1-year deal.
Because he keeps making you look worse and worse?
He can make me look however he want to.
Okay.
But the Patriots, how he making them look? Because they the one that put him on a 1-year deal, not me. I'm talking about it.
How happy is Robert Kraft right now? He's got, who's the favorite to win this coming Super Bowl? Wait, hold on. Is Gronk there now?
No.
There's no Gronk.
No Gronk.
Why are they still the favorite?
How
could they not be the favorite without Gronk?
They might not have Josh Gordon.
But
okay, so I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. The guy that's gone to 3 straight Super Bowls, he's won 2 of them. The team that's favored to win the Super Bowl this year, and they're making him play it out, they only gave him an $8 million raise and said, we'll see you in 2020. Oh, that guy.
And he's excited about this year. He's got his motivation. I'll show you. I'll prove it again. Yeah. Don't give me a safety net. Give these kids safety nets. They're the ones without the guts. Give Carson Wentz a safety net.
I don't walk into him. They're walking to him just like those.
Give him a safety net.
I want you to stop talking about him because we're going to talk about him a little later.
I can't wait.
And you should wait.
Yeah.
You should wait. But Skip, all I'm saying is that I'm telling you, what you're saying and what Tom is saying is not in line with what the Patriots are saying.
I want to hear you one more time, for the record, on tape, on national TV, say this is his last year.
It's his last year in New England.
Thank you. You're thinking he might go somewhere else?
Hey, that's what I've been saying all along.
Really?
That's what I've been saying all along.
Is this the last year he will ever play pro football?
I said it's the last year he played in New England. I've been on record 20 years.
Somebody is actually
changed that up a bit.
Yeah, equivocating.
No.
Somebody is actually.
No, I say 20 years in New England.
Somebody's trying to finesse out.
You can go pull the tape. We can pull the tape from 2 years ago. Because Coach Belichick, Skip, if Coach Belichick had his way, he'd still be playing. He just wouldn't be in New England.
So they're going to groom Jared Stidham this year? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what they're going to groom. I don't know about no groom.
Wow.
I ain't never been married before. So I don't know about no groom. What they do, Jenny? How that groom work? I don't know anything about that. But anyway, Skip Bayless.
There are layers.
Somebody
to this
said
story.
that Tom's going to play at 43 somewhere else.
Interesting.
Well,
that
if we read, because you love to read tea leaves, you tell me every day you come here talking about reading the tea leaves from where I'm sitting. Okay, so I'm reading the tea leaves over here. I got tea leaves over here.
Well, Tom seems to relish the possibility of being a free agent.
Oh, you relish that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how that
all
plays.
right. Hey, all I know, Skip, we hadn't seen him outside of that old umbrella, that hedge.
Yeah.
You know, that hedge now.
Yeah.
There's a hedge.
That old Belichick.
That's the GOAT.
Who gave up 40 to Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
That's old GOAT.
There's a GOAT for you.
You guys just gave me a lot to think about in terms of Tom. We are going to transition from Tom's contract situation to what's going on with the Cowboys. Is it possible the Cowboys won't give Dak or Zeke a new contract? We'll discuss all of that next. Don't forget, you could check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
Summer is finally here, and if you're looking to keep up with your fitness on hot, busy days without hitting the gym, we have to tell you about the latest from Peloton, The Tread. Live and on-demand running, strength, boot camp, walking, and stretching classes. A total body workout experience reimagined, all from the comfort of your home. To clarify, this is not another treadmill. Unleash your inner competitor. Live performance metrics like speed, incline, and mileage. Push yourself even further with real-time encouragement from your instructors and other members in class. Work up a sweat with world-class instructors who are running, walking, stretching, or lifting right by your side. The motivation is real-time and crazy effective. Discover the immersive and challenging total body training you can get from Peloton Tread. Peloton is offering listeners a limited time offer. Go to onepeloton.com, use the code UNDISPUTED to get $100 off accessories with the purchase of a tread.
No mercy.
Well, we've got some news this morning coming out of Cowboys camp. NFL Network's Jane Slater reported Dallas has made, quote, generous offers to Dak, Zeke, and Amari, which would put each of them in the top 5 highest paid players at their position. Also, she reports that if they can't agree on contract details, the Cowboys are willing to play this season with each guy on a prove-it deal. ESPN's Josina Anderson also reported that Zeke will not play without a new deal, but her sources are optimistic a deal will get done before week 1. But Clarence Hill, who was here with us yesterday, just reported that the Cowboys' offer to Zeke is closer to Le'Veon Bell money than Todd Gurley money. So a lot of new news coming out just this morning. Shannon, what do you make of all this?
Skip, I love when a player come together. Hey, nothing like a player. You know, Jenny? You're putting a puzzle together. Maybe you got a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it seems impossible when it's just like spread out all over the floor. And then you start like, okay, here's a corner piece, and there's a top corner piece, and then all of a sudden it starts to come together. I don't know, Skip, you ever I put a puzzle, I think I was about 13 or 14. I put a puzzle together of the United States. Then it took me like 3-4 days to do that thing.
Wow.
But it was when it came to see it come together. California here, and then you see Arizona and Vegas, and then I get Georgia, Florida, and it comes together. And I'm like,
That took 3 or 4
Yeah, I
days.
was gonna say, is that
Come on.
too long?
yes!
You're better than that.
Yes!
You should have done that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know how
you
the
should know your
states are.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
just look at a map.
They're all over the place. But anyway, to make my point, Skip Bayless, stop interrupting what you try to do. My plan is starting to take shape, just like I laid it out. I told you what was going to happen. Oh, Jerry, it makes too much sense for them, and it makes too much sense for the Cowboys. No, you're trying to get them at a discount price, Jerry Jones. No. See, he want to go retail shopping, Jenny, and pay wholesale prices. Where they do that at? That don't work, Skip Bayless. I keep telling you that. Stephen Jones is trying to poison the water by talking about they got to give us a discount. No, we ain't give you nothing.
Okay.
He want top dollar. He want Todd Gurley money. And for Jared, I'm talking about the prove it deal. Prove it. Zeke said, what you want me to do? You want me to lead the league in 3 of the first 4 years? Because I would have let it 3 straight had it not railroaded me and McCall forced me to miss 6 games. That's what I would have done. Amari Cooper said, hold on. Skip, let me get my card. Get my card just right here. Skip, did you know Dak, before Amari Cooper got there, Dak had 1 game in which he threw for 200 yards or more. Once Amari arrived, 7 times he threw for 200 yards or more.
It helps to have one decent receiver.
So Amari said, what I need to prove? You proved to me you couldn't move the ball through the air without me.
Okay.
You proved that. Zeke Elliott said, you also proved to me that when I was in Cabo the first time, you couldn't win games without me. So what do I need to prove? I keep telling you, Skip Bayless, that's a great problem to have. It is if everybody isn't up on a contract, needing a contract at the same time. Skip, you in trouble. You don't want to admit it. You put on your brave face. You know what, Skip? You'd have been a heck of a coach. You know why? Because even when you know you about to get the brakes beat off you, you could have convinced your players that, you know what, guys, we got a chance to beat this team. They're not better than us today. And you sound.
We would have pulled off the upset of the century.
You got the brakes beat off you, but you'd have had the guy believe, we got him. And then after they go up like 28-0 in the first 8 minutes of the game, like, we ain't got him. Skip, you in trouble.
When have I ever been down 28-0? Ever.
You down right
Never.
now?
No.
You down
Ever,
right now?
Ever, never.
You caught a 20-second timeout just a minute ago.
I'm really good right now. By the way, last night was the Jerry Jones annual media bash in which he takes the whole group of media out in Oxnard. I think they bus all the way to Nobu in Malibu. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night. it's a great opportunity for all the reporters to kind of pull Jerry and or Steven aside for just a second and get a little on off the record, you know, that you could tweet, but you can't really quote. But it's a great night for Jerry and Steven to use that little platform to get their message out through the media. It's another big opportunity to negotiate publicly with a holdout Zeke and a Dak and Amari who are at camp.
Correct.
So they're going to hear and read all this. But let's just do the hypothetical that got proposed last night, that got tweeted today by Jane Slater. The hypothetical is it possible all three stars, borderline emerging superstars, would be forced to go into this real season with no contract, to play it out on prove-it deals that they're currently on? Is that possible? Well, right now, the CBA, unfortunately, and I'm completely with you on this, it gives Jerry and Steven all the leverage. And it's wrong, and it needs to be righted. And in fact, I read yesterday they had an early negotiating session. Did you see that?
Yes.
On the next CBA. You got to get this one right. And all that you could do to help mentor young players, to advise them, to counsel them, to direct them how to get this right, you should do all you can do, because they will listen to you on this. Okay, but right now, they're stuck under the old deal. And right now, let's take Dak. He has 1 year to go on his deal.
No, he's in the last year.
Well, I'm saying he's got this year. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
He's got this season to go at only $2 million. But he does have, to my last count, maybe a dozen national TV commercials. So he's making a little bit of money off the field. I don't know how much, but at least you got something going for you. And there is this thing called a franchise tag. So let's do the worst case scenario for Dak, is that he would play it out and think, oh, I'm getting toward free agency, and boom, you get slapped with the franchise tag. Now you're going to make a whole lot of money off that tag, as we saw Kirk Cousins make 2 years in a row in Washington, right? You can make a lot of money off that tag, whatever that average of the top five.
He made almost $45 million in 2 years.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So it's way above that now. It's way above that.
Not all that bad, but Jerry does have that in his hip pocket, right? He's got that over you. Let's go to Amari. He's scheduled to make $13.9 this year, so he's the one of the three who says, I don't have great amount of urgency. Yeah, do I want a new deal? You better believe I do. But he's very happy in Dallas. He's found football heaven with Dak in Dallas, right? Jerry knows that. So if you have him play through the year toward free agency, then could you keep him from leaving via free agency as the cap expands? Then you give him his big deal that's an AB type deal or whatever, even a Michael Thomas if it goes that high. Okay, that's another one. And then you got Zeke. He's under contract for 2 more football seasons, right? And then if you had used the tag on, I'm doing the worst case for these players, if you had used the tag on Dak 2 years from now, well, then you could use it on Zeke the next 2 years after that, right? Okay, so you could really pull this off, and you could unite, I'm just doing the hypothetical, you could unite and ignite the whole football team, the whole locker room against you. So it would be locker room versus Jerry and Steven. Like, how dare you? Watch what we're going to do. We're going to play it out with motivation, just the way I talked about. Michael Jordan played out that 1998 year to put Jerry Krause, their GM, back in his place. How dare you think that you could replace our coach, Phil Jackson, right?
Yeah, Skip, but if I was Jerry, I would pay him now. Can you imagine?
Okay, well, he has proposed this hypothetical.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you get your dream scenario. The Cowboys get to and win the Super Bowl. Do you know how much you'll have to pay Dak Prescott?
Okay.
Do you know how much you'll have to pay Amari Cooper?
Do you know how much more the cap will go up next year?
Skip, it ain't gonna. He will literally. Dak will be. I put it like this here. If he makes Dak play this thing out, and the Cowboys get to and win the Super Bowl, and Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott will be the first $200 million quarterback. He will get $150 million guaranteed.
You know what?
Jerry want that?
Jerry wants one more Super Bowl. He would probably pay any of this price to get that one. If he wins this year's Super Bowl with the team united against him, he'd die and go to football heaven. I don't know if Jerry's going to real heaven. I'm not sure about that, but he would go to football heaven.
But Skip, the thing is that you want guys happy. Are they going to be happy knowing that Dak Prescott said, hold on, wait a minute, Jerry. I won 2 divisions. I won a playoff game. And you tell me you want me to prove it? Oh, Amari Cooper.
Wait a second.
Huh?
What do you keep? We're about to talk about this one more
Yeah.
time. What do you tell me about Dak Prescott? He's average. He's mediocre.
Whoa.
Don't you tell me that?
Hold on. Now, Jerry, you can't have it both ways. You can't say we got our franchise quarterback and then use what at Pro Football Focus and what all the other media members say. So which is it, Jerry?
You could.
Huh?
You could just pull Dak aside and say, hey, all I read is that you are a mediocre quarterback. You're going to have to prove to me this year you're better than average.
And Dak says, hold on. Mediocre quarterbacks. When last time mediocre quarterbacks won 2 divisions within their first 3 years?
Oh, so you're arguing for Dak?
Whoa,
now. I got it.
Whoa.
Can I use that in our next topic?
You
Yeah,
know,
sure.
you know I'm pro players. You already know this, Skip
Okay.
Bayless. But my thing is, Skip, is that prove it. Each one of these guys have proven their
Hey, wait
value
a second.
to you.
Let's do Amari.
Yeah.
He had not 1 but 2 down years in Oakland. One
Yeah.
under Del Rio, and then when Gruden came, he went right in the tank for reasons that I defend him on. But it was not pretty what happened under John Gruden.
Right.
So he was on his way to his second straight down year by his 2. He'd made 2 Pro Bowls, and all of a sudden he's looking below average for 2 football
Right.
seasons till he got traded.
Right.
Last 8 games last year, blip or trend? Will he be able to sustain? Well, Jerry could ask him, you're going to have to show me you can sustain that going into the first game of the year.
The question is, if Jason Garrett is not there, what type of coach are you going to hire? Because if you're going to browbeat him, no, he'll revert back to where he was. Skip, you know John Gruden and Amari Cooper. You see his personality and John Gruden's personality.
I agree with you.
You already know it's oil
I'm
and
just
water.
telling you what Jerry could argue right
Yeah.
now to Amari. Hey, I need to see you for 16 games instead of the back half of a schedule when you came here and found nirvana.
Okay. Did you see what your quarterback looked like before I got here?
Okay, well, okay, point taken, got you. But then Ezekiel Elliott.
They got to prove nothing. What do you got to prove?
Really?
No. 2-time league rushing champ.
I don't even want to have to call for it because I don't want to see it again, but that Las Vegas tape of what happened, that little incident there, do you want to see that again? Do you want to see another bar fight? Do you want to see another incident with another security guard?
When Jerry cared about that?
Okay.
When has Jerry ever cared about that?
He could pull him aside, if he ever comes back, and say, hey, I need you to prove it to me for 16 games this year that you will stay out of trouble. Simple as that. That you will be a model citizen.
He stayed out of trouble during the season last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know that for a fact.
I know that.
I don't.
And Zeke said, hold on, Jerry. When have you ever cared about off the field? Your resume says, as long as I can play, I'm good. I'm golden.
Jerry's got some leverage. He's had his back, but he could also say, Zeke, you got to show me that you will be on the up and up, the straight and narrow, all the way through a 16-game year. I don't want to get a late-night call. You always tell me he's got to sleep with his cell phone under his pillow.
And Zeke ought to tell him, Jerry, you already know.
You're going to get that call?
Yeah, you're going to get me.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, Jerry needs to say, I don't want one call for 16 games.
You're going to get it.
No, for 19 games.
No, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You're going to get the call. You know what I am. You remember when you came to Ohio State and you asked all the people other than my head coaches and coaches what I was like? And what they told you, and you still took me with the 4th overall draft pick? Okay, so you know what you were getting. You buy a chicken, you expect eggs, right? Unless you get a rooster where you bought a hen. So he laying eggs, it's laying eggs. So you got Ezekiel Elliott, you know what to expect, Skip Bayless. And now all of a sudden, you got a problem with my off-the-field behavior because you don't want to cut me my check. Give me my money.
A prove-it deal has got to be the most insulting.
Yeah!
Insulting. The Athletic
is
now
it
saying,
hypothetically possible? You better believe it is.
It is.
Ooh.
The Athletic is
You know
saying
what
no communication between Zeke and the Cowboys at all as of late.
Okay. You know,
That is what they're reporting. So
We
they're not
haven't
moving.
even played we did play the Hall of Fame game, but we haven't played the real first preseason slate.
You know what? If I was the agent, you know what I'd do?
What?
If I was Amari agent, I'll snatch him off the field. If I was Dak agent, I'll snatch him off the field. Now go win your Super Bowls, Skip. I get my money.
That gets ugly.
I want my money, Skip.
So I got one question for Zeke. Are you going to quit for the next 2 years?
No.
You going to quit?
Ooh.
Really?
Jerry,
You're going to stay?
hold on.
Wait. Are you going to stay in Cabo for 4 more years?
I might.
It's a long time to stay in Cabo.
Hold on, because Jerry Jones, I think if Jerry said something at the combine, the size of the check, if you were to guarantee me a Super Bowl, now Jerry said he'll cut a big check if you guaranteed him a Super Bowl. They want the players to take less money without a guaranteed Super Bowl. So, yeah, whoa, how that works, Skip Bayless. So if I'm Dak, Amari, and Zeke, I said, I put this thing together. We the triplets. We the new generation of the triplets. We gonna take a break. We all gonna be in Cabo. We all gonna be in Cabo, Skip Bayless.
Everyone's going to Cabo now?
Shannon.
Get that money. I bet I get that money then. I bet I get that money then.
You're barking up the wrong tree. You don't bark up
Hold
Jerry's
out.
tree.
Hold out.
Yeah,
Hold
you
out.
need this.
Hold
Just
out.
seems to be getting more and more messy.
Yeah,
That
I
were
love
the
contention.
case,
Skip,
and
you love
put
contention.
everyone
You love
against
contentious,
the
right?
team.
Don't you love contentious?
This is Jerry about to win his Super Bowl before the season starts.
Betty.
Watch him.
Okay.
Watch him.
Hey.
Nobody
Dak.
better than Jerry at the
All
negotiation.
three of them should take a break. Go to Cabo.
No mercy.
Who is better, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? The debate rages on, and the writers of The Athletic voted an all NFC East team. Sorry, Skip. Walk It To Him won the QB position.
Who's Walk It To Him?
Pretty
You know.
easily.
I
I
don't
know
know who it
you
is.
know who he is. 7 of the 8 writers picked Wentz as the best quarterback in the division. Just one writer picking Dak. Were you voting somehow there?
You
Skip?
don't do beat writing, so why you picking that? You stopped beat writing years ago.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn.
Did they get it right?
Got it absolutely right, 100%.
Wow.
I keep telling you, Skip, mate, look, we just had Clarence Hill on the show yesterday. He's covered everything Cowboys for 20 consecutive years. He sat right there in that chair yesterday and say, who was better, Skip Bayless? He said, walk into him.
I can't remember.
You do.
I do.
You do.
That was a long time ago.
You do remember.
24
Skip,
hours.
Everybody, Skip, all the writers that cover these guys on a daily basis tell you what I've been trying to preach to you for 4 seasons, 3 years, and you won't listen to me. Pro Football Focus, who have some, you tell me they got very smart people, Jenny, he tells me all the time, those guys are really smart people, and they watch more film than you do, Shannon. They say walk it to them. You get the players. The players, you say, they play the game. They did it. So now the players that played the game, they say it. The writers that didn't play the game, they say it. And Pro Football Focus, who has a combination of both, they say it. Hey, at some point in time, Skip, just give it the fight. Just go ahead and say, hey, and two, y'all. That means everybody. It's over for you.
Tell me when it's
Hey,
my
that's
turn.
your turn. Yeah, you know what, Skip? You know what? I feel like I'm rubbing it in. I can hear my sister now, Shannon. That's
Rub.
enough.
Go ahead.
Rub. I can hear my sister at home right now say, Shannon, now you being too extra on Skip. Now, Skip is so good to you. I can't believe you be in his face like that, rubbing it in. Well, I'm going to rub it in. I'm a type of guy, if you got an open wound, I'm pouring salt in it. Absolutely. And I ain't getting Band-Aids. I ain't getting no gauze. I ain't getting nothing. I'm pouring a big old box of Mortons in it.
I have no wounds.
And
at all.
alcohol.
Well, I'm as
Because I wanted to
healthy
burn.
as can be.
I wanted to burn.
I am whole.
Well, hey, all I'm saying is that everybody, Skip, you know what? Numbers last year. Did you know Wentz had a higher completion percentage than Dak? Do you know, Skip, in 5 fewer games, he threw 1 less touchdown than Dak? Did you know that, Skip? I didn't know that, Skip. I ain't know, because you know my chief researcher, you know, he had a couple of days off. So old Marty Mart filling in for me.
Really?
Oh, Marty Mart.
Oh, so you're playing with one arm tied behind your back.
Oh, no,
right?
Marty Mart. Marty Mart said, I got something for you. Put this out there to him, Shannon. Just chum that out there to him. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to figure, how does a guy have 1 fewer touchdowns in 5 fewer games if he's Brady-esque? Now, I see why Jerry don't want to give him no money. Jerry, I can't give you Wentz money. I can't give you all walking to it money.
I'm being really nice over here, letting him have his
You
time.
are, you are.
Because somebody's trying to kill the clock, as in ball control, because he knows he's about to get obliterated.
I'm done with it. Skip, go ahead, have
Is
your
it
way.
my turn
It's
now?
your turn now. I ain't got nothing to say.
Here's what you're going to be doing in January and then February.
What are we doing?
This right here. You know why you're going to
Zeke
be
won't be
doing
there.
this? You're going to be eating crow. And the line for the crow feast just got a lot longer because 7 new people joined the line, and they're all going to have to do this in January and
They
February.
old. They've been
Because
saying it
right
all
now,
along.
I love it over here all alone on Dak Island.
Okay.
Because Dak Island is a really comfortable place
Is
for
it?
me because I feel so secure. I have $108 million worth of heart security that I am so right about my quarterback because I've already been proven right because your quarterback has played how many playoff games? Help me out. 0.
0.
Your quarterback got carried by the magic man, Nick
Stop it.
Foles, who had a shrine built to him in the locker room. Do you remember this?
I do.
Oh, yes.
And now your quarterback has to fight two battles. He's got to exorcise the ghost of Nick Foles. That's not going to be easy. And he's going to have to stay healthy. My quarterback hasn't missed a snap yet in his career. Your quarterback just keeps getting hurt. You're going to bet on your quarterback? Really?
Yep.
And I'm going to do the intangibles first. Who has proven to be one of the best leaders in all of pro football already in his third year? Dak Prescott. He is the face of the franchise.
No debate.
He is the unquestioned alpha male in my locker room.
Okay.
I love his character. I love his backbone. I love his big game, big moment play making. The team thrives on him, and this team goes as he goes. So your quarterback has yet to take a single snap in the postseason, while my quarterback has played 3 playoff games at a very high level. Against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, he had a QBR of 79. Remember, that's on a scale of 0 to 100. Then against Seattle last year, he had a QBR of 74 and just took the game over. All the MVP plays in that game were made by my quarterback. And then against Jared Goff, a game they lost, but he had a QBR of 84 in that game. That's high because my quarterback last year in the playoffs had the number 1 QBR in all of pro football in the playoffs last year. And if we could just show one more time, please,
goodness.
the run that beat Seattle. This is the game-winning play right here because it led to the game-winning touchdown scored by him.
Goodness.
3rd and 14. Up, there he goes again, and thank you. Thank you. Game over right there.
Yeah.
That was it. That clinched it. That's number 4 making a play with his legs because he can do it with his legs as well as his arm.
Why did you pretend like that was the beast quake?
Okay,
that was Marshawn against
So think
the
about
Saints.
this. In 3 playoff games, my quarterback has gone 79, 74, and 84 QBRs. Those are extraordinarily high. So he has, all told for his career, he's almost at an 80. He's 79 point something in his career in 3 playoff games. It's extraordinary, but nobody focuses on this because everybody has already presumed prematurely, oh, he's mediocre. No, he's not. He's tremendous. He's better than Philly's quarterback because he beat Philly's quarterback twice last year, and everybody just sweeps that under. Wait a second, we're doing last year because your quarterback came back healthy. He was ready to go.
No, he wasn't. You know he wasn't healthy. He rushed back.
Think about this. Think about what you're doing.
What am I
In
doing?
2 fourth quarters and an overtime against the defending Super Bowl champ, arch rival Philadelphia Eagles, my quarterback went 24 of 28 for 331 and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions. That's in just 2 fourth quarters and an overtime against the Eagles. It's extraordinary what he has done. He's played Aaron Rodgers 3 times in his career and had a QBR of 80 average to Aaron's 62. So he outplayed him on QBR every time. I'm sorry.
No, we don't do that, Skip.
And all he's done is lead the NFL in game-winning drives over the last 3 years. It's off the charts what he has accomplished, and I just sit over here and laugh because I'm going to have the last laugh. And by the way, I must compliment whoever the anonymous voter was. I can't believe he even got 1 vote, but somebody is smart enough to give him 1 vote.
You did.
So one guy at The Athletic is going to stay out of the crow feast line at the end of the year. He's going to say, you know what?
You know what's
right.
This is what I don't understand. When I tell you my homeboy outplayed Brady, you says who won the game. When you throw up Dak and Aaron Rodgers or Dak and Jared Goff and you say QBR and Dak beat both of them, you say QBR, but who won the game?
Okay, but I keep telling you, Brady threw for 182 yards in the 4th quarter against Patrick Mahomes.
Did he outplay Mahomes? A simple no or a simple yes?
Outplay him how? He didn't beat him in QBR.
Okay, that's what we talk about.
But when the money was on the time, the clutchest player in the history of sports threw for 182 in the 4th quarter. And then what did he do on 3 straight 3rd and 10s in overtime at Kansas City? He converted all 3 of them. It's impossible, and he did it.
Skip, all I'm saying is that when Mahomes left the field, he had the lead. Brady not only went down there and got a touchdown, they got the ball in overtime, and Patrick Mahomes never touched the field. My only said, if you look at the game, take away the outcome because that's what we seem to be doing in certain situations. Pat Mahomes threw all touchdowns, no picks. Your guy had 2 picks.
Who would you have rather had in that game? Brady or Mahomes? Help me out.
Well, that's what they said.
Come
Who
on.
would you rather have? Walk into him or Dak?
Boy, I'd rather have Dak
Oh, but
100 times.
That is what they said.
You know what? Your guy's in big trouble this year.
My guy's fine.
He's playing under the cloud of Nick Foles.
My guy
You're
got this.
so wrong.
My guy got a $108 million security blanket wrapped around him. He good.
That's $108 million of burden on his shoulder. It's weighing him down because he's going to have to try to live up to that while exercising the ghost of Nick Foles. Good luck.
Jen,
I feel sorry for your kid.
Well, Jen and I hope somebody put a $108 million burden on us.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a burden I can bear.
You realize
it's a burden.
once you get it, you got to live up to it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna leave Skip on Dak.
You know what, Skip? Ooh, they're gonna walk into him.
You and
Everybody
the
don't walk into him.
Boy, limp it to him. Boy, he was
Man,
missing in the playoffs. The
man,
Magic Man took him on 2 magical runs the last 2 playoffs, and I don't know about your guy.
Walk into him, not limp it to him.
Limp it to him
We
wins.
need this season to start so we can actually compare these two. How about this guy? Why is Aaron Donald getting compared to
why?
Michael Jordan?
That's a good question.
That is a new one. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Summertime is here, and while you may be breaking out that baseball cap for a day at the beach or the ballpark, if you're wearing it to hide thinning hair, you may not have to anymore. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to 4hims.com. And products are shipped directly to your door. Order now. Undisputed listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See website for full details and safety information. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/undisputed. That's FORHIMS.com/undisputed. 4hims.com/undisputed.
No mercy.
Aaron Donald was named the best player in the league on NFL Network's top 100 list last week, and now he's being compared to a GOAT. ESPN's Ryan Clark praised him yesterday, saying, quote, Aaron Donald is the Michael Jordan of football. The gap between him and the next dude that plays his position is so huge, it's unbelievable. So, Shannon, what a quote there. Do you agree?
Skip, if you just look at it in a vacuum and if you say Aaron Donald compared to other defensive tackles, well, yeah. But Michael Jordan wasn't compared to other 2 guards. The gap between Michael Jordan and everyone else, Skip, when you compare Michael Jordan to Larry Bird, when you compare him to Magic Johnson and other great players, that's how he became the GOAT. That's how he became, at the time, until 2003 came along. No, hold on.
Freudian slip, but it's okay.
Yeah, Freudian, yeah. Anyway. But when they weren't comparing Michael to Michael is Michael compared to Clyde Drexler and other 2 guards. No, Michael Jordan became what he became because the gap between him and everybody else was vast. Now, if you say he's the Michael Jordan of DTs, yes, absolutely. Because the gap between him and the other DTs is not even close. The gap between...
Of today's DTs.
Yeah.
Not historical.
He has an opportunity. Now, I still believe... Skip, I don't know... And I'm biased. I mean, for me, LT is the greatest defensive player that I ever saw. I didn't get the opportunity to play him because the year we was going to play him, he was injured. He didn't play. But LT is it. Now, you also covered the Reggie Whites, the Bruce Smiths of the defensive line era. Deion Sanders at the defensive back. Whether you look at Ray, I don't know. Did you cover Buckers?
No.
I know you didn't cover Buckers.
No.
But anyway, Skip, look. Is he the best player currently? Yes. But I do not believe the gap between Aaron Donald and if you say Mahomes, if you say Drew Brees, if you say Aaron Rodgers, Khalil Mack, I don't believe the gap between Donald and those guys is like the gap between Jordan and the guys that he played against. Now, if you just say D tackles, Ryan is absolutely correct, Skip. But I look at Michael Jordan, I don't compare, Skip, you can't even put Michael Jordan against any other 2 guards. You compare him against other greats in the league. That's how he became the GOAT. Because if he'd just been the best, 2 guard, okay, well, yeah, that's good and well, fine and good.
Yep.
But the gap between Mike and everyone else was vast. I do not believe the gap between Aaron Donald, although I do believe he's the best player currently, I do not believe that gap is what the gap was between Jordan and others.
So first, allow me to say, I love Ryan Clark. I believe in Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark was the only player rep back when this CBA was agreed to who voted no for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the only dissenting vote. Way to go, Ryan Clark, because he saw what was coming and it was not pretty.
Nope.
And now Zeke and others are stuck under this current CBA.
Correct.
So I give him high marks for that, and I still consider him a friend who is dead wrong about this. Look, what did I always say about Michael Jordan? Every game I ever watched, he would do one thing every night where I'd say, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's how great he was. I believe you could have brought in a Martian and sat him down or her down and said, hey, watch this thing called basketball, and soon they'd be saying, that 23, he is something. You know, he's by far the best player out there,
He
right?
might be from our planet.
He might be. He's not governed by your gravity, right? Lawrence Taylor, you could just turn on your TV and he destroyed people. Charles Haley, again, I pushed for years for him to get in your Hall of Fame, and he finally did, and it was way too belated. But you could just turn on your TV. He wrecked offenses. You could put two on him if you wanted to. He would just tear through two people and get a hand on the quarterback. He disrupted, and then he destroyed. And we watched the great Ed Reed get enshrined the other day. You know him well. You could just turn on your TV, and Ed Reed was a Michael Jordan of safeties. I thought Rod Woodson was really great, too, and you played with Rod.
And Rod, but you know, Rod transitioned to safety. People don't realize Rod started out as a corner.
Who ran 4-3.
He ran 4-2. No, he ran 4-2.
Yeah.
And he was Skip. He was Defensive Player of the Year, but Rod was also the cornerback on the 75th anniversary team.
He was.
People don't realize how good he was.
Okay, but you could just turn your TV on, you'd say, there! Like Ed Reed, was he not always around the football?
Always.
He just got in the middle of everything. You'd say, well, he's changing the game, right? The great Reggie White. Again, when he had to line up between the tackles, sometimes he could get nullified, especially against those Cowboy teams in the 90s, because they were so big and so good and so skilled in the offensive line that two could take Reggie out, where he would he'd go quiet on you for a while.
Right.
That often happens to Aaron Donald. And again, I get it from a player perspective. You put the tape in and you sit back and you say, wow, he's occupying two blockers. He is clearly first-team All-Pro, and it's not even close. He is clearly the anchor of what last year was a really, could we say, was it the best defense? I think it was. We saw it in the Super Bowl, Wade Phillips' defense, right? And is he a driving force of that? Yes, he is. But can he seek and destroy? Can he go LT on TV where you just say, oh, there he is?
Skip, but see, you know LT was a different animal, Skip.
Okay, but he's an edge rusher, and he's a stand-up edge rusher.
Yeah, okay. But Skip, LT made the left tackle famous. Because if you played in the NFC, if you didn't have a left tackle, you couldn't beat the Giants. And then he made everybody else, the Von Millers, the Khalil Macks, the Derek Thomases, the Cornelius Bennett, all these guys, everybody tried to find the LT.
Okay, I got it. I'm going to go eye test. I'm not going to go coach's tape test. I'm going to go TV eye test.
Okay.
I've watched Aaron Donald for 5 years now. I watched him at Pitt. I watch, and I just don't see enough. I don't see Michael Jordan, where I got it. The gap between him and any other DT today, it's extreme.
Bad.
It's vast.
Yes.
I got that. But even the two games against my Cowboys, I've told you this before, 2017 last year in the playoffs, you went to that game. See, I won't let you forget that.
She's going to more games.
I
know. She's going to more games, too.
Is she?
Yeah, we're going to playoff games.
Okay.
Maybe
She's
I'll
going to be
have
going to a
to.
lot of Cowboy playoff games.
Maybe I'll have to.
You better hope she doesn't.
We're so good this year, it won't matter. You can
even
go.
matter.
You can go.
Oh, you feeling yourself
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
am I?
Let's get a few contracts signed. All right.
2017 at Jerry World. Aaron Donald played. He registered 2 tackles, no assists, and 0 sacks. Playoff game at Coliseum this past football season. 2 solos, no assists, no sacks. 3 playoff games last year, including Dallas, New Orleans, Super Bowl. No sacks. No sacks. And I look at the total production in the playoffs. He had 5 solos. He had 4 assists. I mean, it's just like, it's pedestrian numbers.
Right.
Now, again, is he being double blocked every? You better believe he is.
You gotta make it.
Okay, you got to account for him with 2.
Before we start calling Michael Jordan, are we sure he's that much better than Joe Green? Is he that much better than Warren Sapp or Johnny Randall?
Hey, Warren Sapp, you want to talk about disruptive?
The dancing bear, I mean,
He had that slither to him where he just snaked through.
Yeah, I mean, 300 pounds. And Johnny Randall, who has the most sacks for a defensive tackle.
Okay.
Skip, I think he's on a fast track. He's in the discussion with the great DTs,
Okay.
the Joe Greens, the Warren Sapps, the Johnny Randall. But for me, LT is in a category by himself. Because I think the thing is, Skip, because he had his problems when he played with the drug issues, and then he had some real major, not the drug isn't, so off the field issues once he retired. People don't realize, you do because you were covering the Cowboys and when LT was playing. But LT
One day at Texas Stadium, poor Troy Aikman, I can't remember how many times he went down, but it seemed like 8 times were via LT.
Wow.
Skip, the man was Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year
It just wasn't
in the
fair.
same season.
It just wasn't fair.
He went 10 straight years. He was first-team All-Pro.
Okay, so does Aaron Donald wreak havoc? Do you see him wreak
Oh,
havoc?
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't see it.
Yeah, Skip. He's good.
I don't see
He's
the
that good.
quarterback play in fear, like terrorized by Aaron Donald.
You got Skip. The way I judge a defensive player, and being an offensive guy, is that we broke down the defense. When I went into the meeting room, and my coach says, we must take care of this guy, or we can't move the ball. That's Aaron Donald. We played Reggie White one year, and the offensive line coach got up there, and he was taking off guys and said, well, this guy can do this. You got to watch for the club. You got to watch for the rip. You got to watch for the swim. When it came time for him to discuss Reggie White, he said, this guy might be the greatest guy to ever play. He's going to whip all of your asses. We got no answer. Let's just hold on the best we can.
Okay.
Aaron Donald is that type of guy, Skip.
He is.
He's special.
But I've never seen him wreak as much havoc as I saw Reggie White wreak. Where I would see games where Reggie would just take the game over and you'd say, my God, they can't stop him. They can't block him. 2 can't block him. 3 can't.
I think one thing, Skip, is that guys throw the ball more now, so there's more opportunity for sacks. You know, when you was covering the league, it was a run-based league. You threw on 3rd down. You threw on 2nd and long. Now guys throw, so you have more opportunities. That's not to take anything away from him because, Skip, he's special.
He is special.
He is special.
But he's not Michael Jordan.
He might be Michael Jordan of the defensive tackles, and that's what the point that Ryan was making, Skip. When you compare him to other D tackles, who's close?
You know, if Ryan had just gone Jordan-esque, I could go
No.
there. But you can't go Michael Jordan.
But here's the thing, though, Skip, is the gap between Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack, is it like that between Jordan and the other guys? I don't think so.
Okay, but he doesn't play really the same position.
No. But I'm saying, but see, Michael, they compare Michael to everybody, to Kareem and Magic and Bird and Karl Malone and all the guys.
Got it. Could you line up Aaron Donald in a stand-up pass rush position and he would wreak havoc? I don't think so.
Well, they don't stand him up, Skip. But Wade Phillips, knowing Wade like I do know him, he'll slide him up and down the line.
He does.
They slide him trying to find the weak link. And if you're the center and you're weak, he's gonna play on your head all day. If you're the left guard, right guard, and you're weak, he's gonna play on your head all day. If you're the right tackle, left tackle, they're trying to find the matchup. And wherever they find that matchup, you got to deal with it. And that's Skip the dude special, Skip. He good. I mean, he good. Now, I played against John. He reminds you, with his hands and his size, he reminds you of Johnny Randall. Because Johnny wasn't that big. Sapp was about 300 pounds, but Sapp, for 300 pounds, you're never going to find a defensive lineman that's 300 pounds that can move like Warren Sapp. You can't find it. And then Joe Green was, Joe couldn't play today because they take all his money. Because the stuff they were doing to quarterback, Skip, and Joe ripping guys' helmets off if you cut him and things of that nature, he just couldn't play back then. Play today's game. But Skip, he is the Michael Jordan of D tackles. He's special. You must account for him or he'll wreck your offense. He's that good, Skip. He is that good. Now, LT, I ain't putting nobody in that category with LT. LT is a different animal.
Okay. Well, another guy that has sometimes been compared to MJ, Tom Brady.
No,
Is he
stop.
getting close to calling it quits? We'll discuss with Rob Parker. He will have a take on this next.
No mercy.
the thing, guys. Tom Brady keeps fighting off Father Time. He turned 42 on Saturday, then agreed to a 2-year extension for $70 million. But it turns out the extension can be voided after this season, which would make Brady a free agent. He still sounded pretty calm when he talked about his future yesterday. Take a listen.
It's really the reality for most guys in the NFL. You know, I don't want to think that I'm any different than everyone else. Like, football's a tough business. It's a production business, and you know, I'm ready to go this year, and that's really what matters, and that's where my focus is. It's a unique situation I'm in. You know, I'm 20th year with the same team, and you know, be 42 years old, so pretty much uncharted territory, I think, for everybody. And you know, I'm going to go out there and do the best I can this year and see what happens.
Good morning, Rob Parker.
What's happening? Good morning, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Listening to those comments, do they tell you that this is Brady's last year?
First thing I want to say is, did they edit out gee whiz and aw shucks in that soundbite?
Fortunately, yes.
You know, that's Tom Brady all over, acting like he just showed up, fell off a turnip truck, and he doesn't know what's going on. Here we go again. And Skip, I'll ask you first. I didn't know the Patriots gave out welfare. What in the world does Tom Brady need a raise? The last guy who put up Super Bowl numbers like that as a quarterback was shown the door, Peyton Manning. Go look up when they won with Denver. No touchdowns, a pick. Same thing Tom Brady put up. Maybe Brady had 60 yards or more.
Did you see him against the Chargers?
No, I'm talking about the last time we saw Mr. 42-year-old quarterback. He didn't look that good.
He
had a contract in place. Can we just wait for that to be finished? And then if he plays well, Shannon, you give him another deal. So I don't know about all that. I don't understand. Tom Brady got the owner, Robert Kraft, bamboozled. He is convinced that they're doing away with everything that they have done in New England, which has kept them relevant for so long. Which is what, Shannon? Get rid of people a year or two early than a year or two late.
Right.
That's what they've always done to everybody except Tom Brady. Jimmy Garoppolo was there in place. Everything was all set up to do it the right way. There's no shame if Tom Brady was to go somewhere else and play. The list of quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, who finished their career elsewhere, Montana, Peyton, Favre, even back to Joe Namath and Johnny Unitas. Google it if you don't know who those guys are. So all those guys, this is what happens to you.
So wait, like Shannon, you're predicting Tom Brady will play elsewhere next year?
I don't think, well, if they were so confident in Tom Brady, they wouldn't give him, first of all, they can't sign him to a franchise tag.
Right.
And he can become a free
he negotiated that.
He can become a free agent, right? The last couple of years. So if they were like, we want Tom Brady, he's going to play to 45, they could have given him a guaranteed contract for the next few years. Easily, Skip, easily. They don't even believe it. They have to do this to satisfy the fan base who would have a baby if Tom Brady was a quote-unquote lame duck quarterback and played out the last year of his career.
Well, he is lame duck.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
But
what's beyond this year?
But they gave him money, so people are going to feel good about it. Oh, they gave, and that's not what they report.
Wait a second.
What they report, he got a $70 million deal. The fans don't read the fine print. Most fans
they
are
do
like,
now.
oh, Tom Brady.
Oh, I beat him to the punch. I tried to tell y'all that yesterday.
There ain't no big-time contract. It's not even guaranteed. The bottom line is Tom Brady, again, wins a Super Bowl, gets credit like he did everything, a 13-3 game. Shannon, this man has won 2 Super Bowls with a total of 1 touchdown. One touchdown. Against the Rams, he threw 1, and he threw none in this Super Bowl against the Rams again. So I'm saying out of the 6 Super Bowls.
First Rams Super Bowl.
The first one.
Well, guess what? In that playoff, he threw 1 Super Bowl.
That was 1 touchdown.
The entire playoff. But I ain't going to talk about that. Skip, go ahead. I don't even want to talk about Tom Brady. Because you called me a hater. I hate Tom Brady. You say I hate the Cowboys.
I don't hate Tom Brady.
And none of that's true. Farthest from it.
All I know is that Shannon Sharpe dug in when this show first launched back in September of 2016. This is the last year, 2017.
Oh, boy.
This is his last year.
No.
2018. This is his last year.
Bayless.
2019. This is his last year.
Bayless,
That's all I know.
No, I told you, Jimmy Garoppolo. I had it all set up until somebody intervened. You know, Mr. Kraft intervened, Skip Bayless.
Was he right?
That's neither here nor there.
No, he wasn't right.
So
Brady
wait a
didn't
second.
play well.
So my friend to my left here has said Tom Brady is washed up for probably 5 or 6 years. You have said he's washed up. Who has been to 3 straight Super Bowls and won 2 out of 3? And in the one he lost, he threw for a record 505 yards that no one's ever thrown for in any playoff game ever. 505, and he lost 40-33 because his coach's defense, with no Malcolm Butler, who was benched, gave up 40 to Nick Foles.
What
That's
did
the
he
only one
Did he not turn the ball over with 2 minutes to go?
In which Super Bowl?
In the
The-
Super
the-
Bowl
when he
with
lost-
the Eagles.
Because he has no room for error, and he's just trying to throw his guts out.
is
trying to
it
get back in the
about
game.
yards or
did
is
he
it
not
about
throw a
points?
Hail Mary that ended that game that hit Gronk right in the hands?
Is it about
Yes, he
yards
did.
or points?
Hey, Rob, what about that drop touchdown that he had?
Right.
Hit it right in his
He
hand.
was
drop
wide
touchdown.
open. He couldn't even catch a wide open
So
touchdown.
the guy you say couldn't run a 6-flat 40 is going to run it in after catching that ball that was thrown completely over his head?
Just catch it and get a first down, stay on the field. Because you know Tom Brady, that's what he does.
You
And
guys
Skip,
are
they won a
reaching
Super
and
Bowl with
reaching
13
and
points
reaching.
last year.
Rob, did you see him against the Chargers in the first playoff game he played last year?
I'm talking
This
about-
man picked the Chargers to win that game, and Brady goes 33 of 44 and just threw a party on the Chargers. Did you see him in overtime at Kansas City in the cold?
I saw him
3
throw a
straight
pick.
3rd and 10s. 3 straight. He converted all 3 of them in a row. That's impossible. And he did it. Did you see him in the 4th quarter against the Rams in the Super Bowl? That Rams defense, because it's got Michael Jordan in the middle of it.
Hey, go ahead.
Aaron Donald, that's what you said.
So
You
weird.
kept saying it.
I did not say
It
that.
was really good, and it took a while for him to crack that code because Wade Phillips has had his number every time
And he
they've
still
ever
didn't
played.
crack it.
And he cracked it. He had 5 straight completions in a 4th quarter drive that just simply won the football
Can
game.
you remember-
And he should have been MVP.
No, he
Skip,
should
no,
not
he
have.
shouldn't have.
Skip, okay. He played really great against the Chargers. He played
Chargers didn't show up.
He played unbelievable against KC, and they won the Super Bowl. But did you know he had more interceptions than touchdown passes in the playoffs? Where did they do that at, Skip?
Who won the Super Bowl?
Oh, see, there you go.
there you go.
See,
Well, who did?
the Philadelphia Eagles won. And they didn't blame it on anybody. But see, you see what he does? This is what I figured this out very early on. Skip, you know, our 3-year anniversary is coming up.
Yeah.
September 6th.
Yes.
Because what happens is...
Can you believe we lasted this?
We'll last it long. We'll last even longer, too. But anyway, you see what Skip does, Rob? You got to pay very close attention. When Tom Brady loses, it's Coach Belichick's fault.
No
Well,
doubt
that
about
was that
No
Super
matter
Bowl.
how bad he plays and they win, did you see that one throw he made? He was walking up
Well,
the...
wait a second. What's the most points ever scored by a Super Bowl loser? Ever. 33 by Tom Brady. Whose fault was that Super Bowl? The coach gave up 40 to Nick Foles.
So what about other teams, Skip? You never make that argument for other teams. What about Tom Brady?
Is it my turn? I thought you handed it off to
Go
me,
ahead.
right?
Go ahead. You right.
Rob, it's hard for you to understand this man has shattered the mold and will continue. He is going to play until he's 45 years of age because he vowed to. There's
New
one
England?
man in sports, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. That's not my choice.
No. I'm gonna put your foot to the fire. He played all.
I don't know. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
you gotta
Well,
know. Come on.
you have to tell me what are they going to do. I just know Brady's going to play until he's 45
Okay, in
at
New
a
England?
high level.
With
in
New
New
England.
England.
Well, I don't know. You said he won't play.
But
now
they don't
you're
even-
trying to wish
But
and
they
wash
wouldn't
down
even
it.
guarantee
Skip,
him a
I've always said-
contract.
What are
Why
you
wouldn't
talking
they guarantee
Time out.
Tom
Okay,
Brady
is
a
it my turn or
contract?
not my
He's
turn?
45.
It is your turn.
It's your turn.
You don't get him because he's shattering the mold. He went Michael Jordan on the NFL yesterday because I covered Michael Jordan and he always would trick up some new motivation because he'd won 3 championships in a row, then 4, then 5, and then 6. And each year he came up with a new motivation. I'd say, that's just crazy. Like a feud that he would start with some player. He didn't say that about you. He didn't really take it. That wasn't aimed at you. Yes, it was. I'm going to get him. I'm going to show Jerry Krause he's so dead wrong about Phil Jackson. Watch this. Tom Brady yesterday said, watch this. I want to work a year with no safety net. I don't need $108 million guaranteed dollars that Carson Wentz got in Philadelphia
playing for free.
with proven nothing so far. And Tom Brady, who's been to 3 straight Super Bowls and won 6 out of 9 Super Bowls in his career, is saying, hey, I'll be tied for 7th in quarterback money with who? Drew Brees. So the 2 guys who are taking big hometown discounts are favored to reach the Super Bowl. And once again, who's the favorite to win this year's Super Bowl? Help me out. It's Tom Brady again.
They're not
wait,
favorite. Now,
Yes,
come
they
on.
are.
No,
What do you
they
mean
are.
they're not
They're
favorite?
not
They
favorite.
just are. Is it not a fact?
Those are
It's
just
a fact.
Those are just lazy odds makers.
Oh, lazy
All they-
says
yes.
Rob Parker. They're lazy
They're
odds
lazy
makers.
odds makers. They pick them every year.
Time out.
No
Is-
matter what the team is, Skip,
Is
they pick
Gronk
them
there
every
this year? No, he's not there. And they're still the favorite. You know why? Because he's saying, I'm really excited about this year. This year is all that matters. And my favorite
That's an
line,
indictment of Andy Reid, who can't win a big game.
Thank you.
Because otherwise, you would look at Kansas City. Am I right or wrong, Skip? He can't win a big game.
Tom Brady wants to be treated like a sixth-round
No, he
draft
doesn't.
pick trying to make the roster.
With a supermodel
he said
wife?
yesterday, I don't want anyone to think I'm any different from anyone else.
He don't want anybody else to think that. He ain't said I don't think that about myself.
Right.
And you know what, Skip? He don't have to drum up or this guy disliked me. The Patriots said, you on a one-year contract, bro. Drum up however you want to. You get 1 year.
All right? And he loved it because he said, all that matters is this football season. Is that the truth?
Well, how-
Nobody
how-
else wants that. Everybody else wants security.
Well, at 42
And
years
did you see
old,
what he
Skip?
said? I'm secure for this year, I think. That's what he said. This is to your aw shucks, gee whiz. I think. He said, at least I'm getting a few of the first team snaps out there.
So you can tell by that statement, let you know he ain't happy.
Skip,
Because they could have easily said, oh, he got a 2-year extension for $70 million. We got $40+ million guaranteed for you what?
Beware Psycho Tom. Here he comes. He's going to take out Psycho Tom on this season.
Coach Belichick, he
Watch.
be psycho all he want to, but he up out of here.
Oh, really?
And 2020, you elsewhere.
So you know what Tom Brady did last year? This shocked me.
Okay.
This is every year it's a new thing with him. Like
Sure.
I got to reinvent myself. I got to get better.
Yep.
He played 69 preseason snaps last year. It's outrageous more than anybody played. 69
Coach
in 2
Belichick
games.
told him he was playing
Oh,
69.
really?
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. Let
So
me
at
ask you a question.
41, he played 69
So
snaps. Shannon Sharpe would say, that's insane.
Let me ask you a question. So you think Tom Brady says, Coach Belichick, I want to play?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
No?
Okay.
All right.
Who runs that franchise in the end?
Bill Belichick.
This guy does.
Hold on. If he run the franchise, he didn't want to leave. Coach Belichick was going to ship him up out of there.
And what happened? Who won?
Oh, but no. But you said he run the franchise.
He does.
If you run the franchise, you do whatever you want to, right?
Right, it would have never come up.
As a matter of fact, I want my own contract. I'm signing a 5-year extension since I'm running, and I'm gonna give myself $120 million with $75 million guaranteed.
Motivation. He wants to show. And plus, he likes to win rings. So he's focused on rings, not money. And they just got $5.5 million back against the cap.
Can you do both?
You guys brought it up
Who
yesterday.
said they got to be mutually exclusive?
You brought it up yesterday that a fan asked him, what is your favorite ring? And he said the next one. That is Tom Brady. He's always finding a way to be motivated,
Rob,
right? This
he's
is the
going to
guy.
haunt you again this year.
No, he won't haunt me. I'm going to be right this year. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the first in 7 years, you're going to be
I'm going to be right.
We'll have plenty to talk
Watch.
about. Always, Rob. Thank you for joining us. Did Patrick Mahomes admit yesterday that he wastes time in practice? We'll explain what
Mahomes
he's doing
boy,
next.
MVP.
No mercy.
Patrick Mahomes is fresh off throwing 50 touchdown passes, over 5,000 yards, and being named MVP. But everyone is still buzzing about his left-handed and no-look passes from last season. But get this, Mahomes said yesterday that he actually practices those plays. Take a listen.
You're throwing left-handed into the net, and some people might say, "Oh, he's just out there goofing around." That's serious stuff to you, right? Because you might need that skill set at one point, right?
Yeah, I always mess around trying to do stuff like that. Hopefully, I never have to throw it left-handed again. I mean, if it happens, it happens, and hopefully I complete it again. But all that stuff with the no look and throwing across my body and all that stuff is stuff I'm working on. I mean, I'm trying to see if I can make these throws. I'm trying to see that I can still put our team in the best position and not hurt us. And that's stuff that I work on each and every practice so I can utilize in the game.
Oh, Shannon, is this a good or bad idea for Mahomes to do this?
I think it's a great idea, Skip, because a lot of times what you see guys do in the game, they've done it in practice. And this is why you practice, because then it becomes second nature for you in the game. You know, Skip, and guys normally practice a lot of things, trick shots, horsing around, they're playing against each other. Do you think Steph Curry, first time shooting a 40-foot three, Skip, was in a game? Or that's what he practiced? You see him warming up, Skip, he's shooting from half court like he shoot his normal shot. So once it comes to the game, he has no problem pulling up from the timeline. He has no problem pulling up from 33, 35 feet like it's nothing, and everybody's like, wow. But he does this all the time. You think Patrick Mahomes, the first time he threw that no-look, was in a game? No. No. And he's practiced that, Skip. There are very few singular acts Normally, it's repeated behavior. That's what greatness is. It's not a singular act. It's a repeated behavior. And when you see my homeboy at the ripe old age of 23, bring home the MVP, you know there's many more to come. And you know Super Bowls are right around the corner. It might be this year. And he might throw a no-look back. I promise you this. He won't throw 0 touchdowns with a pick in the Super Bowl. We know he won't do that.
But will he get to the
Yeah, he gonna get there.
Can he beat Tom Brady in Foxborough? No.
Who says it's gonna be in Foxborough?
Well, because if you looked at the Patriots division lately,
Well, Tom might be still stewing over he ain't get but $8 million raise.
no,
think
he's
that'll
going to
be
be
it?
ignited over it.
He ain't gonna be ignited.
When it comes to my homeboy, you see no evil because I ask you, Mr. Sharpe,
What?
have you ever heard of a quarterback practicing these things? I haven't. I've been covering the game longer than you played the game. I've never heard of this before. Your homeboy is in danger of turning into a sideshow caricature of himself, encouraged by a head coach who is all about offense. And Andy Reid, who continues to say to the NFL world, look what I found in the draft. Look what I traded
nice
up and
left-handed.
drafted, right?
He throw better left-handed and he right-handed than somebody else that played that position many years ago. I ain't saying no names.
Oh, really? No names? Whew.
Brett Favre practiced conventionally. He tried to perfect conventional, and then when he had to resort to it in the game, he resorted to improv.
Yeah.
But he practiced conventionally. He didn't practice sideshow conventionally. The danger here is that Andy Reid will let his young quarterback be turned into this state fair midway sideshow freak show.
Yeah, traveling.
Hurry, step right
Yeah,
up
the traveling
and
circus.
see the amazing trick shot artist quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He can throw it from 30 yards through a tiny hole left-handed.
Yep.
He can throw it behind his back through a tiny hole
That's
from
coming.
40 yards.
That's coming.
Left-handed, behind his
like
back.
Mac.
Oh,
Yep.
curly. Oh, it's
Here we
coming.
go.
Oh,
Sounds
better
like
He
lock
can
up.
throw it sidearm. Now you see him, now you don't. Now he looks, now he doesn't. The amazing Mahomes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, see, well, you looking at it like the no look, but the thing that makes quarterback great is they have to be able to change, platforms. You have to be able to throw over the top. You got to throw sidearm.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so in other words, you're just gonna get in the game and do that when you haven't practiced it. No, you practice that. And so now he's teaching you when he practiced this skip, and I'm sure he does this with sometimes probably just playing catch with Travis Kelce, looking at one guy throwing over there. Because your natural thing is if somebody's not looking at you, because what happens? You ain't looking at me, you're not talking to me. Excuse me, you talking to me? Yeah, I was talking to you, but you weren't looking at me. And that's my homeboy saying. Hey, even though you don't think I see you, I see you over there. So just keep running. That thing was nice, too. You see I did that?
You know and I know that this league figuratively eats its young. This league figures out how to put its young quarterbacks back in their place after only 1 year of starting, because all those division rivals spent the whole offseason trying to figure out ways to put Patrick Mahomes back in his place.
Yeah.
If he continues to resort to all this showboat stuff.
He don't do that, Skip. You make it seem like his whole game is improv.
Andy Reid will encourage this because Andy Reid is more about stats and sis boom ba than he is about winning big games.
Stop it.
Rob Parker was right when he just said a few minutes ago, Andy Reid doesn't win big games. He loses AFC, NFC championship games. That's what he does
Well, I don't know.
for a living.
I'm not going to go back to Philly because what happened. They went to 5 straight. They only went to 1 Super Bowl.
Yep.
But, Skip, you know.
What is he, 1-6 now in
AFC
championship games?
But, Skip, his defense let him down. Now, stop that.
Okay, he doesn't think about defense. He thinks about offense.
Well,
He's the Mike D'Antoni of the National Football League.
But it was a lot of times, it was his offense that let him down because Jim Johnson, his whole defense were balling out. And it was his offense that was letting him down against Carolina, against Tampa.
You know why? Because the other defense will figure it out after a while.
Man,
Look, I don't wish this upon Patrick Mahomes because I think he's a really good kid. I watched his whole interview yesterday. He's good. He has a good heart to him, and he looks great. His body looks great. He is entering his prime as we speak. So the sky is the limit unless you go completely over the edge into freak show sideshow.
That ain't what he gonna do.
I don't know.
I mean, Skip, sometimes I get another sport that you love watching, and you've picked up since you've been out here in Cali. You play it an awful lot. Golf. Do you think those shots those guys hit?
I picked it up out in Cali?
No. I say you play it a lot more now.
You
play
really, but go ahead.
So you were playing in Bristol in
Yes.
December? In December?
No.
In January?
No, but in
February?
the spring and summer.
Exactly.
I think I played more golf in Bristol than I do here.
Yeah, because you busy harassing me. But anyway.
I am. That is true.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think the first time you see a guy hit one of those shots when he's in the rough or behind a tree or something, the first time he's ever done that shot is in that tournament? Or do they practice it?
Okay, but it's not a trick shot. It's just an escape shot.
Okay, well, he escaped.
Nobody,
he escaped with a sack.
and you know what? Nobody practices those shots.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do, Skip.
I don't.
Yeah, they do.
And I have to hit a bunch of them.
First of all, Skip.
I don't go in the practice range and say, let me put myself in the worst position possible. Nobody does that.
Skip, first of all, you either pro or you're an amateur. All these other guys, as great as Tony Romo is, he can't beat the worst golfer that's on the tour. Those guys are pros, and they practice what they do. You're not going out there, Skip, and never seeing a shot, you behind a tree. You don't think they throw the ball behind the tree when they're practicing? So what they do? They just go out there and just putt.
No,
and
when they're playing practice rounds, if they hit a bad shot, they have to escape, and that would be a practice try at that shot.
I'm not saying practice rounds. I'm talking about when they're on their home course. I'm talking about when they're out on their own. So when they just hit the ball, so they hit it perfectly down the fairway every time. That ain't what I see. How a guy go hit the ball behind the tree and then he come from behind the tree and hit it within 4 inches of the cup? So that was the first time that happened?
Okay, let's get back to Patrick Mahomes.
He practicing what he's going to do in the game.
Yeah. I hate it for him that the rest of the NFL is going to see this interview and hear this, and they're not going to love it. Because I know what Shannon Sharpe would do.
And they can't do nothing about it.
He'd be in his locker room with the Denver Broncos or the Ravens saying, this kid thinks he's doing that to us?
Yep.
Really?
You know what they say? You talk all that talking. Man, you ain't going to get it today. I promise you I'll leave with more catches today than I had when I came in the game. Now, what you going to do about it? And I'm going to give it to him first. And just so you don't feel left out, or you will get it in the second half. That's what I would say.
You know what he's going to hear from some defender, some
touchdown
pass rusher? No, he's going to hear, why didn't you try to throw that one left-handed after he throws a pick?
No, he said, no, I'm going to throw this one better right-handed. Okay. Hey, Ty, Reek, get deep.
Okay.
Sammy Watt, gone. Kelps, best tight end in football right now, so you know what he
see
does.
no evil, but you know I'm right about this.
Skip.
This is tricky.
You make it seem like he does this like 7-8 times a game.
He's probably thinking about it.
No.
Because his coach would like it.
Only when did you see him, Skip? When he's running to the sideline on 4th and 10, when he against the Ravens, and he heaved that thing. I'm trying to figure out how
you know what? His coach is more about ego than
Man,
rings.
stop it, Skip.
He is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Skip,
got a big ego.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
No.
Skip, everybody has an ego if you play this game.
Yeah, not like Andy Reid when it comes to offense.
So you don't think Coach
Remember
Belichick?
that quote in the Mike Sando piece? You know, anybody could put up numbers in that offense.
Hold on. This offense is the West Coast offense, so it goes way back. So if we just pick it up with Joe Montana in '79, how many of them threw for 50 touchdowns in a season? Brett Favre won MVP. Steve Young won MVP.
Trick shot.
John Elway.
We'll be watching
Andy
him.
Reid.
Andy Reid. Athleticism from him. Okay, enough of Patrick Mahomes for now. LeBron, guys, is he ready to turn back the clock next
Start
season?
the clock.
We'll discuss
No look, bro.
next.
No mercy.
After missing the playoffs for the first time since he was 20 years old, LeBron James has been called out by a lot of people this summer. The most recent example was his former GM, David Griffin. The King responded to that by tweeting, "The throne has been played with too much. Ether coming soon." And last month, he told the world he was getting ready for a, quote, savage season. We're joined by Yahoo Senior NBA insider Chris Haynes. Good to have you with us. When you think about LeBron in this season, what do you expect to see from him?
Before I answer that, let me say that I think there is no other superstar in the history of the NBA who's had to so-called prove himself multiple times throughout his career.
Okay.
The reason why, and I'll explain why I say that, but I'm going to take it back to a little story. I remember when I was covering the Cavs, Skip and Shannon and Jenny, when I was covering the Cavs and LeBron came back from Miami.
Okay.
And they traded Andrew Wiggins and got Kevin Love, and it seemed like the roster was just assembled, and it just felt like it was just a matter of time before he won a championship, which was great. But months went by, and we're starting to notice that guy at number 30 over there in the Bay just splashing threes, dancing, Draymond Green yelling at folks, Clay being turned into one of the best two-way players. And then slowly, after Cavs games, we would go into the locker room, and the Cavs players were watching Warrior games. And so that's when we started noticing, oh, shoot, like, their Warriors are taking away some of this buzz that LeBron was getting when he came back to Cleveland.
I think LeBron noticed, right?
Everybody noticed,
Yes.
Skip. Everybody noticed. And then it was like, then there were some players in that locker room kind of bickering about, why is Golden State getting all this love? Why is everybody calling them the anointed team? What have they done? What have they accomplished? And so LeBron, when you watch, you guys remember, whenever they would match up, whether it was a Christmas Day game, NBA Finals game, whenever Steph would drive to the basket, LeBron would act like a free safety and zero in on him. Go over there, block it. Yeah, and he has something to say every time. Has something to say every single time. And Steph would be taken back and be like, what's going on? So I said all that to say that the situation of what's going on right now in LA with the Clippers emerging, this is going to be a Golden State situation times 10 because it's in his own backyard. Not only, and before, the Cavs-Golden State rivalry was mainly a team rivalry. This situation, people are honestly debating who's the better player.
They are.
LeBron or Kawhi.
And better team.
Better team and better player.
Yep.
And so now LeBron has to face that every single day in his own city, which is unprecedented in the NBA. So I say all that to say, I think LeBron, I don't know if he would admit this, but I think he's going to be as motivated as he's ever been in this.
And by the way, one other additional motivation. Don't we believe that LeBron was at least under the impression that number 2 was going to sign with the Lakers? Don't you think?
Everybody within the Lakers felt really good.
Okay. Well, there's another reason
felt really good.
that he's not, he should not be happy going in next year about who is sharing that building with him, right?
That's true.
Okay.
But I say this, I think Anthony Davis is going to lead the Lakers in scoring. But I think just from an all-around standpoint, leadership, determination, I think LeBron is going to bring it this season. I'm serious about that.
Bring it as
sometimes, Skip, I use this word, and I've used it a lot. But I expect Pollard in Sydney Opera House. I expect a virtuoso.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. You know who Pollard is.
You lost me.
You know who the greatest opera singer.
Okay.
And when you the greatest, you perform on the biggest stages.
Why wouldn't it be in Milan or
There you go.
Why Sydney? So you got an Italian in Australia. I don't quite get it.
Sydney
Go ahead.
Opera House. Okay, you want him to be at the Met? Okay.
Okay.
How about this here, Skip? This might be the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. You like that?
Okay.
Do you know what that is, Skip Bayless?
That was early Beatles. That wasn't virtuoso yet.
But it captivated. It announced
it
their
did.
arrival.
Oh, but it was I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah. The arrival, the awakening. This is what you asked for. Skip, this. You saw that picture they had up there. He had Savage. He done shed some weight. Ooh. I feel bad. I would feel bad. If I was an NBA player, I was like, you know what? I'm load management when I play the Lakers. Even if I open the season, if I was Kawhi, I'd take it off. Over the day, I say I want load management. I don't want no part of this. Now, Kawhi won Finals MVP because he did an outstanding job on LeBron James. And all LeBron did was average 28, 7, and 6 on 57% shooting. That ain't none of my business. I don't even know why I brought that up, Chris.
He stole the MVP.
Stole it. I don't care about that. But because everybody's talking now. You heard all them general managers. My guy, the best player, GOAT James, got no votes for the best current NBA player. He's seething, and rightfully so.
Well, the best players laid up for this coming year, so it's wide open.
It ain't no wide open. No wide open. But you know what, Skip? And AD just might lead the team in scoring. But I can see LeBron averaging double-digit in assists. I don't think he'll be asked to rebound the ball because they got a lot of bigs now. They have AD. They still have JaVale. They have Boogie Cousins. But, Skip, this virtuoso, this all-around performance that we're going to see from LeBron, yeah, I can see something like 24-25, 10, 7, and 8.
In year 17.
Giving it to you.
So he's ageless, right? He is immortal.
Tom Brady, ageless.
He's impervious.
Is Tom Brady ageless?
Father time. Well, he's proven to be, except he plays a very different game that's much easier to play than LeBron's game.
LeBron make it look
LeBron's game requires that you play offense and defense. How much defense did he play a year ago?
Wow.
Not a lot.
He gonna be
right?
He more free safety. He gonna be a lot of Ed Reed. He ain't gonna be no Ronnie Lott this time.
Okay, so just to remind everybody, what a disaster it was for LeBron James here in Los Angeles in his first year. Could we just see just a snippet of that blooper tape that circulated?
There you go.
I just want to see it. Just because you got to bring it back into
I saw
focus.
it already, Skip.
Here we go.
Look at this.
Throws the ball in bounds. Oh, he threw it off the backboard. The back of the backboard. Wait a second. What's he going to do here? Oh, Kuzma had to push him out into play defense. What are you doing? LeBron's rolling the ball up the court against the Nuggets, rolling the ball. LeBron, pick up the bat. No. Bounced it off his own foot out of bounds. That's no good. And then, wait a second. Mario Hezonja blocked LeBron's shot, and Hezonja went to Portland, so now LeBron's got to face him more times because that was a Nick Hezonja.
That's the
right?
Do you want Hezonja to get what Nurkic got? You remember what happened to Nurkic?
Well, maybe he's going to have to get it because LeBron he already posted IG'd about a month ago, season for the ages.
Savage.
Savage.
And then he said last week, enough is enough, David Griffin. The throne has been played with too much. Ether is coming. And then 9 fire emojis. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, we ain't
Fire.
We ain't about them games, Skip.
And I loved what Kyle Kuzma said. He said, everybody has been slandering. Used the word slandering LeBron James. And I'm thinking, did Michael Jordan ever get slandered by anybody while he was still playing basketball or ever in his life?
Well, when they was about to, but then he took 2 years off. And then he was about to again, then he took 3 years off. But I don't know all about that. But Mike, I see, and LeBron is right, Skip. You know, Skip, did you know LeBron James quit school in the first grade? Because they played too much. Now, these guys playing with the man's name again. They playing with him. You playing with him. Kawhi, everybody talking. Paul George, everybody talking. All these execs that would not give the man, Skip, 1 vote? You mean to tell me GOAT James,
says you.
GOAT James can't get 1 vote, Skip Bayless. The man can't get 1 vote. Out of 30 people voting, he can't get a vote.
I think what he did, I mean, you mentioned those blunders, but that's, to be honest, those 3 or 4 blunders in a 60, how many plays, 60-something
Hey, the tape went much longer. We could have gone a dozen deep.
He played 55 games.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, I think that left a sour taste last season in everybody's mouths, from management to fans to players, whatever. And I think that's that lasting impression. But I'm telling you right now, LeBron has been working his tail off this offseason. I'm telling you, Skip, I'm telling you.
You know. I will take that to my bank.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He is preparing for a season, a comeback for the ages,
He is.
right?
If you look, and not only LeBron, if we open it up, look at all the guys that dropped out of Team USA. And, I was told by players, that, look, man, this is an opportunity where we feel like that Larry O'Brien trophy
Everybody
is up for grabs.
I know. I got it.
We want to spend time, organizing with our teammates now.
Correct.
Here.
I got it. Because the best player on the planet tore his Achilles tendon.
Stop it. There you go.
Well, that's what happened.
There you go.
That's why they're not playing for Team USA, because everybody sees the door swing wide open because Kevin Durant is no longer a Golden State Warrior.
That's just like saying Harvard got 150 extra vacancies for admission. I ain't got no chance. What I'm studying extra for? I can't get in there.
I agree. I agree with Skip on that. Golden State. I mean, KD leaving Golden State.
Yeah. That's what happened. You don't got no better Skip. Look, it's going to come down to like 4 or 5 teams. It might not be. Look, Kevin Durant made Golden State unbeatable in a 7-game series. Now, if Clay comes back, Clay, their mindset is like, hold on. I don't see anybody that got it that much better that we can't beat them.
That is true. That's what they're thinking.
That's how they're thinking. They're like Kevin.
They should think that way,
And the Houston Rockets are now thinking, Westbrook and Harden, we got a shot here because we lost nobody else off this basketball team. The Denver Nuggets are only going to get a little more experience next year. And, hey, Utah, that looks like a real basketball team to me. That's going to be a factor.
Don't sleep on Portland, Skip.
Okay, don't sleep on Portland, especially during the regular season. They're going to win their share of games.
I'm sleepless in Seattle, and I'm sleepless in Portland.
Okay, well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You better not be sleepless in San Antonio. You're going to have a problem.
You know what's good?
Dame time.
Okay.
Dame time.
Dame time.
Don't disrespect.
You know what? You know what? Dame was in what's the movie he shoot when LeBron was? Space Jam. Space Jam.
Yeah.
LeBron, I mean, Dame.
See how quickly you forget. There was only one Space
Not a
Jam.
good sign.
No, this is going to be better than the original. I mean, it's not very often that the remake is better.
LeBron already fired one director,
Yeah,
so we better see.
wherever you do the job, you don't see my vision.
Creative difference.
You don't see
you
my
don't
vision.
see my vision.
It happens,
But like you tell me all the time, Tom Brady going to give it to you right between your eyes. Mm-hmm. Old Bron James,
Right.
old GOAT.
You know what I say to old goat, the phony goat? Don't tell me, just show me.
No.
It's time to show.
All right.
I don't want to see. But then you go to about, where is this LeBron been? I didn't know LeBron had this in him. No, I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you I'm going for $1.50 and 2 tubs today, and I dare you to stop. He's going for
Motivated
25,
LeBron
10, and
excites
7.
me.
Why did you relegate him to 25? Why didn't you go for 30?
No, because we got AD. We got another guy that can go get you 30. See, Michael Jordan never played with a guy like AD.
You also got another guy who might shoot 30 shots a game named Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, boy. Chris, good stuff today. I like that you're saying LeBron is ready.
Here we go.
To look forward
Chris
to.
knows. He knows.
How about this, guys? The Cowboys, they may have sent a message to Zeke
I think they
yesterday.
did.
We'll tell you that message next.
No mercy.
Let's get to Skip's Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott is still not in camp, but another name is emerging. Dallas's 4th-round pick, running back Tony Pollard, is apparently turning heads at camp. Dak Prescott said Pollard is one of the most exciting players to me of this training camp. When we're in the offense, we're in the offensive units, we're in the team meetings, and coach calls him out on his responsibility without a hesitation. He's getting it right. That's what you want to see from a young guy. That's what the players and coaches want to see, and he's been delivering. Jerry Jones added this. He is obviously about as smooth an athlete and certainly a running back. You saw the flexibility. If he continues to get better and better and better, which he's got to, I think you're going to see a guy who plays early for the Cowboys. So, Shannon, is this praise more about Ezekiel Elliott, or is this about Tony Pollard?
You know what it's about, Skip. They need to start with this hyperbole. You know what, Skip? Zeke, when I go on vacation, Jenny, I tell him, I say, don't even put no TV in my room. I don't want to hear no news. I take that back. I ain't been on vacation ever. But that's neither here nor there. Zeke, he can't hear the news, Skip Bayless. I love Dak because Dak said it right the other day, Skip. He said, look, I love Zeke, but Zeke's got to take care of his business. Staying good. He's praising the guys that are there. Hey, this guy's playing unbelievable. He knows his responsibilities. If he gets something wrong, the coach calls him out. He corrects it, and he's moving forward.
Okay.
But then Jerry, oh, boy. See, why Jerry got to do this? Kid? Why he got to go over the edge? This young player, I mean, hey, he's really excited. He's played really well. You know what, Skip? See, that's what I can't do. This is what I can't do.
Jerry said about as smooth, and he didn't finish it, an athlete as you'll see. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, no, you want to say something
You
else.
see the
athlete.
flexibility.
He tried.
We'll play
All this
early.
is, hey, Zeke, you better hurry back. This guy go take your position. Do you believe that? Do you believe that, Skip Bayless? No, you do not. I get it. I get all these semantics. This is all, it's negotiating, it's love, war, battle, whatever you want to call it, Skip. Zeke ain't paying no attention to that because you know why? Zeke says, I know what I'm capable of doing. You know, too. 2 to 3 years, I led the league in rushing. The year that I missed 6 games, I had a highest yards per game average. So I would have led the league again, but I ain't worried about that. I'm over here in Cabo. I'm minding my business. Y'all need to keep my name out your dentures, Jerry.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't bring up his name. He brought up Tony Pollard's name.
Yeah, don't even mention. I want to hear you say running or back.
First of all, I told you before, I told you right after the draft, they believe that they just stole a diamond in the rough who's going to be their Alvin Kamara. That's what they believe.
Okay.
They believe that Will McClay did it again, that he struck again, And that Tony Pollard, I told you I didn't watch a lot of Memphis games, but I watched a couple, and he caught my eye. He flashed on TV because he plays so fast. He timed 4.5, which is fast enough, but not lightning. He plays faster than that. He can catch it as well as he can run it. He got a little lost at Memphis because they had an every down back, a workhorse back named Darrell Henderson, who went in the 3rd round to the Rams.
What the Cowboy got? They got a guy that's better than Henderson, and he couldn't get on the field with Henderson, but barely.
So watch Tony Pollard, because I think he's going to shock you with how quickly he plays, how much, because he's going to catch it. He's going to return punts and kickoffs. He's going to try to block punts. He can do a lot of different things, but clearly they're all focused. Even Dak is trying to be the team leader he's sending a message. He's saying, hey, this guy can play right now. Jerry's saying this guy can contribute early because there is some concern, there's some fear, danger that Zeke is going to miss 2 or 3 regular season games, or maybe more. So they're saying, guess what? We found somebody who's Alvin Kamara's size. They're both about, they're 6 foot-ish.
Oh, Pollard?
250.
Pollard, he Alvin Kamara, huh?
Uh-huh. Well, you doubt Will McClay, but he just keeps. I doubted him on Leighton Vander Esch, and guess what happened? He turned into the wolf hunter.
You see?
Did you see it last year?
Skip, you want the diamond in the rough, or you want the Hope diamond? See, you got to polish that thing up. I already know
well,
what
they can be one and the same.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
They ain't but one Hope diamond. You got it. You got it. Look, he got the colors on. Blue. You got the Hope diamond, and you talking about a diamond in the rough.
The message they're trying to send to Zeke is, we have the Kamara to your Mark Ingram. So we have yin to yang. We can help load manage you through football seasons where we won't have to use you up.
Skip, Mark Ingram, James Ingram, there is no comparison to Zeke. So will you please stop saying that? Just like I don't care what Pollard does. He's not Zeke. And you're not going to the Super Bowl without Zeke. And if I'm Zeke, first of all, Zeke doesn't even have internet. He left all his phones here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Did you see?
Disconnected?
Did you see what happened with Mike Weber the other day? There was he tweeted about him. He retweeted about some,
just some play that.
some play. It was a good play that he had in a camp practice.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously, they haven't yet to play a single preseason game, but mark my words, Tony Pollard will contribute this year. This team is getting more and more loaded because Will McClay is turning into the draft master. And Zeke is eyes and ears. He is hearing all this. He is seeing all this. It's luring him
Tony
back
Pollard.
to Oxnard.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Zeke can't come back to Oxnard.
You're right. He's hearing this.
Yes.
You have to believe he's frustrated reading this.
Yeah, he's frustrated. I'm good.
Yep.
Make the money right, and I'll be back.
And remember, Kamara, you never saw in college. Remember what happened? He starts at Alabama, and he can't even get on the football field because he's losing out to Derrick Henry, T.J. Yeldon, and
Drake.
And Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he has to go to Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, and then he winds up back at Tennessee. He didn't even start for Tennessee, right? He had limited carries, which is why New Orleans was able to steal him in the 3rd round.
And
Dallas just went Kamara in the 4th round.
But if you look at, Skip, most of the backs that started at Alabama, if you look at Drake and Yeldon, they're more of the line of Kamara. They didn't start. It's that these guys, Coach Saban, look at Josh Johnson. Skip, he didn't start. He's like a Kamara. He couldn't start. Coach Saban likes a bell cow down the hill. Yeah,
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, excuse me.
Yeah.
He does that. But
Yeah.
you know what, Skip Bayless? You know this. Stop playing. You know you're not going anywhere without Zeke.
Zeke.
So tell Jerry to pay the man.
You want to jump back on board? Because
Nope.
this train
No, we're
is
good.
flying
Nah.
toward a Super Bowl.
Nah.
You want to come along for the ride?
Nobody ride the train
Yep.
unless you're in Europe in the countryside or something like that, seeing everything. Zeke said, no, I'm flying.
Yeah.
And you need to break bread. Break bread.
This is a bullet train.
Nah, we got
Yeah,
only
headed for Miami.
You know, when I was in
Yep.
Italy.
Huh.
Was I in Italy? Yeah,
when were you
Florence
in
was in
Italy?
Yeah, I was in Italy. I'm riding countryside. I'm looking at the train. I'm like, man, this is beautiful. I might pack up and move over here. I'm like, man, this is beautiful. I said, this is what they talk about when you go to, you go overseas and you get on the train and you see. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
And
And then
why didn't you?
Yeah.
I did it. And then I'm back. It hadn't been back since.
You're back? What would you guys do without each other? Seriously. But you know what else is lonely?
What?
Sitting in Cabo when all your teammates are hard at work. Like, Cabo's fun, but at some point, it's not the most exciting place if you're all alone. Okay, Shannon.
Money.
All right, just want to remind you. Freddie Kitchens quickly becoming one of my favorites to listen to. Is he going to hold back the Browns this year? We will discuss what he's saying next.
Freddie KD.
No mercy.
There is already drama in Cleveland for Freddie Kitchens. He was called out Saturday on CBS Radio by former offensive line coach Bob Wiley. Wiley said Kitchens' relationship with Baker Mayfield factored into him getting the head coaching job. He added that another factor is Kitchens will be less combative with GM John Dorsey than last year's interim head coach Greg Williams. Well, Kitchens didn't call out Wiley specifically when he did have this message for his current assistants. Take a listen.
The days of inside information and the days of unnamed sources and stuff like that have ended. So you're not going to get any information like that ever. Anybody. And if I ever see it, they're fired immediately. That's the way we're running this organization. And I can take it. John Dorsey can take it. We won't crack, I promise you.
All right. Shannon, will Freddie be a plus or minus this season for Cleveland?
Freddie K getting on my nerves, Skip.
Already?
Really? He getting on my nerves, Skip.
Too soon.
Skip, I get it. You're the head coach, but you don't have to make a stop. Skip. Freddie, you're not breaking news. Those are consequences. Anybody that tell me the job, Skip, you can leak confidential or pertinent information and keep your job. Where can you do that at? Nowhere.
Yeah, I hope
Unless
not.
you don't get caught.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Risky.
So there's a reason why the Jay Glazers and the Adam Schefters exist, Skip. They don't make this stuff up. Freddie, do you actually think they talk to coaches? They talk to owners. They talk to your bosses. You're going to get fired. When have you ever said Coach Belichick ever said somebody leak information, you're going to get fired? Everybody understands the consequences that comes along with that, Skip. I've always hated if my boss has to constantly, I understand that you're my boss. You don't have to constantly remind me that you can fire me. Imagine if John Dorsey said, hey, man, Freddie K don't win the game, bro. He got to get up out of here.
Yep.
Constantly, every time. Man, stop doing Skip, in all my years of playing the game, and now I've been covering it for 15 years now, since I retired. I can only tell you one thing that Coach Belichick is saying. We're on to Cincinnati. Of all the things in 20 years of him, 20 plus years of him being a head coach, that's the only thing I can remember. But it seems like Freddie wants to make news in headlines every single day. I'm going to fire if you leak information. You should, but that's understood. Oh, so Green Bay, if you leak information, you're going to be able to keep your job. Or in Tampa Bay, or Atlanta, or any other team. Where is that going to be acceptable at? Just like in any other job, if you leak information and they catch you, you getting up out of there. Hey, come on, Freddie.
I'm with you to this point. It's starting to feel like Freddie Kitchens is in over his head. And that's what Bob Wiley is saying. He is way in over his head because Bob Wiley is saying he didn't even really coach the quarterback last year, that Kenny Zampese coached the quarterback.
Right.
Kenny Zampese's now on the Florida staff because they all got fired, including Bob Wiley. What was fascinating to me is USA Today ranked the all-time top 11 moments in Hard Knocks. You were number 3 on that list.
We should have been number 1.
Yeah, when you got impersonated by a rookie, right?
Tim Johnson,
yeah.
yes.
And you and Ray Lewis also got impersonated.
We did.
But number 1 on the list was Bob Wiley from last year's Hard Knocks when he went on his soliloquy about how overrated stretching is, and we didn't stretch during World War II. We did side straddle hops and push-ups to get ready to win that war, right?
Very funny.
It was funny, and it was memorable. More memorable to me was a Hugh Jackson scene that ranked somewhere in the middle of the list in which Freddie Kitchens challenges him openly in a coaches meeting during camp last year about, hey, Coach, why don't we dress the guys who are injured? Why don't we at least make them come to practice and dress, right? And then Todd Haley jumps in and also challenges the head coach. And you could just tell Hugh is teetering, like his authority is on the line here.
And you should have fired him on the spot.
Well, you could have. That's Freddie's saying he'd huff and puff and fire somebody for doing something like that. And by the way, my all-time favorite moment was Hugh Jackson calling in Baker Mayfield last year to tell him, oh, guess what? You just won the backup quarterback spot. Really? You're the first pick in the draft, and you won backup quarterback against you on the show here. Said, well, I regret that one.
Right.
But Baker Mayfield's now on the verge of being a top 10 in consideration quarterback, right?
But Freddie, like he's breaking news, Skip.
Okay.
Everybody knows who Martha Stewart is. Skip, what happens if you get information that's leaked inside and you shouldn't know about? What happens? They send you to jail, right? It's called insider trading. So Freddie's breaking news like, man, if somebody leaks something, but what if John Dorsey leaks that information? Because it's not beyond the realm of possibility that general managers leak information. What if it's Jimmy and Dee Haslam who actually own the Browns? Hey, what Freddie gonna say to them, Skip? Y'all fine, get up out of here.
Good point.
Freddie, come on, Freddie.
Do you believe Bob Wiley is right when he says he only got the job because Baker likes him? Probably so.
Probably.
Okay. Will Baker like him in October, November? I don't know. I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. Bob Wiley is also saying that Greg Williams would have been way too strong a candidate because he would stand up to John Dorsey and make his life hard the way Andy Reid did back in Kansas City when he would challenge John Dorsey.
And John Dorsey lost that battle.
Okay.
Andy Reid won that battle, and John Dorsey is no longer in.
Okay, so are we saying that Freddie Kitchens, when it comes to John Dorsey and Baker, just tells them what they want to hear? He's just a little bit of a pushover?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. But, Skip, it's not. Look, most coaches, the quarterback and the head coach relationship, especially the play caller, it needs to be amenable. I mean, you saw what happened to Big Ben. Todd Haley rubbed him the wrong way, and he had to get up out of town.
Todd Haley rubbed Terrell Owens the wrong way.
Yes. He rubbed Anquan Boldin the wrong way.
He did. That's a good one. Yeah.
So you see this, Skip, you have to, especially with that position, Skip, because, you know, sometimes you can have a contentious relationship with a different position.
Yep.
But it can never be with the quarterback. And I guess, you know, but Greg he's tough now. He's not easy.
We had some amazing storylines on last season of Hard Knocks with the Browns, but this year, tonight, we've got the Raiders to look forward to, and it could be interesting. What to expect, we'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. There will be no lack of storylines when the Raiders make their debut on Hard Knocks tonight. John Gruden and the additions of Antonio Brown, Vontaze Burfict are headlines waiting to happen. Derek Carr said, quote, "It opens up the world to us to show who we really are." Shannon, what do you expect?
A lot of John Gruden.
That's
That's what you expect.
That's a good guess.
That's what you expect. It's going to be very interesting to see how much of Antonio Brown, considering he hadn't done a whole lot of practice and Skip dealing with these the blisters on the bottom of his feet.
He can still talk.
Yeah. But I don't. But you know, they get to write the edit as they see fit. So you know, John Gruden might cut a lot of his out and add a lot of his in. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
I don't know. John Gruden loves the camera.
Yeah.
Antonio loves the camera. Those two will fight for the spotlight, and I believe John Gruden will win the spotlight.
Yes.
But Richie Incognito's going to steal a couple of scenes just because he's worth a couple of scenes.
Vontaze?
Hey, Vontaze on the practice field and in the preseason games.
Yes.
You don't think he'll be a focal point?
Oh, he gonna get suspended. He gonna get thrown. I got a feeling he's gonna get thrown out of a practice. He gonna do something, Skip, that's gonna rub John Gruden. But John might like that. John loves tough guys now.
He does.
So.
Yeah, I can't wait for this because I think it has potential to go beyond the Browns. And I thought the Browns just lit it up last summer.
But I think the thing is, Skip, is that when it's organic, when you let guys be themselves, when you don't have to do anything. When we first did, because we were the first Hard Knocks, Skip, it was just us, but we had a lot of veteran players. Todd was really the only rookie, but we got guys now trying to do too much.
Somehow I have a feeling you probably played up to the camera just a little bit.
You?
No.
A little bit? No, never?
All
never?
time.
What you see is what you get.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.